Da 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 da. Da 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 da. I see the chat is fucking stalled for some reason. That's cool. Why not? Just fucking fuck up right away. That's always cool. How about this? Will that fix it? Hmm. Kind of. Maybe. God damn it. Technical difficulties right out the fucking gate, eh? That's how we want to roll around these parts, I guess. Hold on. Maybe if I switch to this and then switch back, it's gonna do something. No. No, we don't want to do. We don't want to do that. We just want to be frozen there. That's cool. That's cool. Good stuff. I love it. Give me a second. Fucking bullshit. So you guys get to watch me struggle, because that's always fun. Why the fuck? Why the fuck are you not working, you son of a bitch? All right, how about this? I don't think that's gonna do anything. Maybe. No, nothing. All right. Okay. Hum. Could have swore I saw something about this earlier. Son of a bitch. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep, boy. Stream delayed yet again. No. No, no, no. Don't worry about that. Don't you worry your pretty little fucking head, motherfucker. We're gonna fix this somehow. Alright, undo that. There's like a thing in here somewhere. Maybe. Alright, how about if I do this? And then. Oh. Okay. Well, I didn't expect that to fix it, but whatever. It seems like it did, so. Yay. Cool. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Let's put my hat right side forward, because it looks stupid as fuck backwards. And it only looks stupid as shit forward, so that works better, I think. This is already the greatest stream of all time, yeah, obviously. Best stream, yeah. I think it's fair to say that this is the ultimate stream. I don't think anyone can deny the power and majesty of the stream we got going on at this point. How's the working out going? Are you buff yet? Let's check. Well, hold on. Let's just go to just me. Yeah, let's see. Ugh. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, super buff now. I feel some muscle under there, but you can't see it because there's still way too much fat. But yeah, there's a muscle there that wasn't there before, so I guess it's going okay. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I think that to be fuscular is to not have super visible muscles, but what are you gonna do? I would argue that this stream is actually terrible. Wow, you're a jerk, sir. You, sir, are a jerk. I don't appreciate you being mean to me. But yeah, I got some muscle going on. You can't see it, but it's there. You have to just trust. You have to trust me. Uh, yeah. So people actually in the fucking requests were asking to see me work out. I'm not gonna do that. But I don't know. I can go grab a weight and fucking show you some shit, because that's interesting content. Watching a fat dude lift a weight. But maybe we'll do that later. Did I see Onision's mental breakdown over him losing his Patreon? Oh, his totally fake mental breakdown? Yes. It was about the least convincing acting I've seen since the Star Wars prequels. TJ has stated multiple times he has never played Pokemon. Yeah. To be muscular is to eat nonstop. Hell yeah, bitch. TJ is building up his muscle situation. Oh, yeah. Can I do a chin up? No. No, I can't. I hope your form isn't as bad as Howard Bloom's. I don't think anyone's form in all of history has ever been worse than Howard Bloom's. Like, he's literally not even doing something that resembles the exercise that he's trying to do. Somehow, he's made it to 78 years old without knowing what a fucking push-up is. I don't know. I don't know how the fuck that works. How could Onion be acting? He just lost all his money. He is clearly butthurt and trying to play it off as a joke. Yeah, okay. Well, whatever. I could tell when a motherfucker is fake as shit, and he's fake as shit. But whatever. I don't want to talk about fucking stupid Onion Boy. You know, I had my period where I did a dumbass drama show, and I don't do it anymore. So, who gives a rat's ass? I don't care what happens. I don't care what happened on the season finale of fucking Let's Hunt and Kill Onision. I don't really give a shit. That vid was bullshit. You know, it's not like Patreon's the only game in town. I think he's already launched some fucking membership shit on a website. So obviously he was already had a contingency fucking ready to go. Whatever. TJ, look up starting strength. It would be perfect for you. What the fuck is that? Starting strength? Nah. I'm just going to keep doing my thing. Whoa. Just going to keep doing it. Go on the Steve Wilkos show. No. Does that even exist anymore? Is that even still a thing? TJ, I shave my head to honor you. Do it. Hell yeah. Shaved heads are good heads. I'm gonna go get my weights. I'm gonna go show you guys some strength, bitch. Yeah. You settle down. You wait there for a second. Yeah, bitch. So this is 35 pounds. I'll show you this shit. Oops. It's like There you go. There you fucking go. I don't need that yet. Whew. Ugh. It's fucking hard, man. 35 is that's fucking right at the limit of what I can curl. I can't really do anything else with it. Well, I can do like some presses with it and shit. But, slowly but surely, building up them strengths and shit, getting muscular. Gonna stay fat, but build muscle. That's what the plan is. And yeah, it's gonna be fucking impressive. You're gonna see. One day I'm gonna lift a fucking entire car over my head and throw it on top of somebody. It's gonna be sweet. Oh yeah. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. Fussling time. I really want to see you where. What? I really want to see a show where you and Paul create a Christian movie, your version of God's Not Dead. That'd be cool. What exercises do I do? I do some fucking. I think they're called T presses or some shit like that. Basically, you just take weights and you like lift them like this. Then I do shit where I have a weight and I like go like this with it. I don't know. I don't know the names of the fucking shit I do. I do like some shit like this. Do you do any stories yet or chat banter? I've just been bantering with the chat. Haven't gone into the story portion yet. How many calories do you think you eat on an average day? I don't know. Probably. I really don't know. I mean, like, I don't know, 3,000 or 4,000, 5,000, a million. I don't know. I don't keep track. It'd be interesting. Maybe I'll just start keeping track. But I feel like maybe I'd eat differently if I was keeping track. So I'd have to just be determined to, like, not change my eating habits. Just to chronicle, like, how many calories does TJ consume in a day? I'm obviously consuming more than my, like, resting metabolic rate can compensate for since I keep getting fat. Fat. I'll be impressed when you do a John Delaney box jump. Well, I ain't there yet. Do you wash yourself with a rag on a stick? No, I don't wash myself at all. Is Paul still dating Amelia? I don't know how you fucked up the spelling of that name so bad, but yes. You need to work on your leg muscles. Get rid of the chicken legs. I don't have chicken legs. And I do work on my leg muscles. I do squats. So that's my leg muscles. I'll be impressed. I hate squats, by the way. It's my least favorite thing. I'm really good at the leg press, but I obviously don't have that just laying around my house. I want to see your max bench. What do you think you can do on bench? I don't know because I don't have one. I know that I can kind of do like a semi bench press with my two 35-pound weights, like laying on the floor and then pushing up on those. So I guess that's 70 pounds there. I guess I feel like I could probably do, I don't know, another 30 or 40 pounds with that. So I'd say my top bench at this point is like around 110 or something, which is pretty unimpressive for a dude my size. But, hopefully at some point it will, I'll get stronger and be able to do that better. I think you're supposed to be able to bench like your weight or something like that. I don't know. You're going to end up losing all your precious fat and replace it with muscles. I don't think that's true because I've seen If you watch these fucking like strongest man competitions, the dudes that do that are all fucking big fat dudes. So I don't think that's the truth, my friend. That's what I'm going for. I don't want to lose fat. I just want to get fucking power. I want to be power fat. Fat power. What do you think the average person's life will be like in 30 years? How the fuck should I know? Hopefully the human race will be extinct. Do you ever get thigh chafing when walking? No, I never had that problem. Well, I can't say I've never had that problem, but I haven't had that problem since, I don't know, since I was a teenager. Favorite fat actor? Living or dead? Living, probably John Goodman. Dead, I don't know, probably John Candy. Why are they all named John? Will I see The Irishman? I'll probably watch it eventually. Considering how heavy you are, push-ups will be a gnarly pec and delt workout. Yeah, but I'm not strong enough yet. This is a fact about me, and this is actually what I'm working towards at the moment, is I've never in my entire life done a single push-up. In my 34 years on this planet, I've never one time done a push-up. So I'm trying to get strong enough to lift my own fat ass body up one fucking time. And that's what I want to do. I came here to abandon hope, not to see your body. Well, my body should cause you to abandon hope. So that doesn't make any sense. No love for Chris Farley? No, I have love for Chris Farley. I just like John Candy better. I didn't say a damn negative word about Chris Farley. Fuck you. I don't even know what a dip is. Can you do dips? I can do like salsa. Do some fucking spinach and artichoke. I don't know. Queso. What are you, like 300? I don't know. I don't weigh myself. I don't even know where my scale is. I think I have one somewhere. Yeah, see, I got you on a technicality. Bandana guy. Just start with the Howard Bloom push-ups. I think that Howard Bloom push-ups would cause my fucking head to fall off. Your body has caused me to abandon hope. Yeah, I made that. I said that already. Why do you root for human extinction? We have not invented the AI future yet. Well, I'm hoping the AI is what makes us extinct. I'm rooting for Skynet, you know? I feel like that's our purpose. We got the world to that point where we replaced ourselves with something better, and then we can step aside, hopefully with grace and dignity. Everyone is obsessed with you working out. I don't know why. I'm okay with it, but I don't know. I don't know why anyone else gives a shit. This show doesn't make me abandon hope. It just makes me hope for death. Cool. That works. I'm okay with that result as well. Hiking is where it's at. Take some LSD and disappear for 10 miles. Cool. Do a Howard push-up. I'm not doing it. It looks painful. Have you thought about getting on guests for DFF? Yeah. Do a flip. Hiking is a hobby for sexual predators and serial killers. Cool. That's exactly how I feel about AI. We suck. At least we could do is make something that doesn't. Yeah. Who would win between the Terminator and Michael Myers? The Terminator. TJ weighs around 749 pounds by the look of it. I think that's kind of rude. I think you exaggerated it to the point of rudeness. Is there a monetary number for doing a Howard push-up? No, there is not. Just make this a ideology of you working out. No. No, that's not what we're doing. It's not how we're rolling tonight, bro. Do I have any tattoos? No, I don't. My skin is virginal. I did 10K Howard Bloom push-ups and my hair went Super Saiyan. Yeah, it'll do that. Yeah, that'd be cool to weigh 420. Joining the chef's table was the best choice of 2019. Cool. The amazing fitness guru. I don't know if fitness. I don't think fuscular and fitness go together. I'm pretty sure that fat is still bad, even if you have a bunch of muscle as well. I'm pretty sure that's still unhealthy. But whatever. Fuck health. The amazing fatness, more like it. Ha! Damn. Destroyed. Good one, bro. I do cardio on the elliptical plus some body lifting plus 2-3 pound weights for small back muscles and stretches daily. Whoa, so cool. Weed suddenly gives me stomach cramps now, so first night without it. That sucks. What if TJ's channel eventually evolves into a fitness channel? Well, it seems like people would be receptive based on the fucking reactions in here. Will Counterpointless or Pitch Wars make a return? I don't know. Hey, TJ, are you guys still doing that DFF talent contest? Yes. Yeah, we're doing it. In fact, we should probably try to launch that next week. Because it's been ready to go for a while. We just got to fucking put the form out there. I tried smoking weed and it gave me anxiety and made me think too deeply. Any advice? Yeah, quit being a pussy. How do you like the new Rick and Morty episodes? I've liked them all so far. Yep. Probably, I don't know. I think the heist one's probably my favorite so far. Some dude wrote me and said that the heist one sucked, but I was like, I don't know. I thought it was cool. I've sat through a bunch of those Oceans movies, and I thought they pretty much all sucked. So it was kind of a relief. Like, finally someone said what I wanted to say about those shitty movies. You said that 3 weeks ago, lol. Yeah. Shut up. Let's see some hope we should abandon. Oh, you will get to it. You settle down. It's coming. You know? You ain't got to rush me. I didn't like the hidden toilet one until the very end. Yeah. I don't know. I liked them all. They've all been fun. They've all had sort of their own unique thing going on. They haven't felt formulaic. Have you ever watched Total Drama Island? No. No, I have not. I don't like Total Drama. I don't like islands. So none of that sounds good to me. Cold Pockets? Get the fuck up out of here with your damn Cold Pockets, Brian. Rick and Morty peaked at season 1. Now it's for cringy, lol, random kids and pseudo-intellectuals. I mean, there's some shows on Adult Swim that definitely fucking fit the lol random description, but Rick and Morty really isn't one of them. There's usually a pretty solidified theme to every episode. You know, like if you wanted to throw around the lol random criticism, I think you'd be much better off levying it at like Aqua Teen Hunger Force or like Squidbillies or something. Do you think World War III will happen in the near future? I don't know. Total Drama is a really good show. Awesome. Great. Good for it. Hey guys, I'm Pickle Rick. Wubba dubba lub dub. That's not even how it goes. It's wubba lubba dub dub. It's not wubba dubba lub dub. You stupid fuck. And he didn't say wubba lubba dub dub in the fucking Pickle Rick episode. And the Pickle Rick episode is it's not about him randomly turning himself into a pickle. It's about him turning himself into a pickle to avoid going to fucking see a shrink who might actually fucking have some insight into him because he doesn't want to improve. So, it's about his avoidance of self-improvement. Do you like Sam Hyde? I don't know who that is. I know the name. It sounds familiar, but I couldn't fucking point it out in a lineup. Who is gayer, lazy gay or gay darky? Gay darky, dude. Super gay. How long until Rick and Morty sucks? Probably season 8 it'll start to suck. Start to suck around season 8. Well, the show doesn't control what memes happen, okay? So I am pretty gay. Yeah, you're gay and you're pretty. So it works. Anyway, I guess we better watch some fucking bullshit. Chelsea should do something cool with her voice, like narrating or voice acting. I think she would be. Have you seen any episodes of Gravity Falls? It's like a kid's show, but apparently it canonically universe with Rick and Morty. That didn't make any sense. But yeah, I actually just fucking finished watching that show because I got Disney Plus and I was gonna go watch some like nostalgic shit like Darkwing Duck or something. Then I went and looked at the cartoons. I'm like, Gravity Falls. Huh. I vaguely remember hearing something about that. I'll watch an episode and see. And I was fully expecting it to suck, but then like the next thing I know, I'm like, next episode, until eventually I binged watched the whole thing. And it's pretty fucking good. It's fucking pretty sweet. Well, you just finished it today. I finished it a while back. And you haven't even truly finished it because you fell asleep through like half the episodes. So you don't count. So whatever. Anyway, let's take a look at some fucking shit. Because why not? So this is Matt Walsh of the... the Matt Walsh Show, I suppose. And he's going to tell us about fucking trans people or something. So let's just listen to that, I guess.
For you in this. This is not hype.
What the fuck was... What? How?
I want to play something for you in this.
Okay, there we go.
This is not hyperbole. I'm not being dramatic. The video that I want to play is very upsetting. It's infuriating.
I can already feel the fury, dude. God damn it. I'm so fucking pissed now. God damn it. It's not hyperbole. This video is very upsetting. Upsetting is subjective, Maybe you're upset by it. I don't know if I'm going to be upset by it. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. But, whatever.
And let me give you the setup first. Thanks, as always, to LifeSite News for their great work on that.
Yeah, thank you, LifeSite News, for your great work. LifeSite News. I'm going to see what LifeSite News is. I want to see. I want to know what he's talking about. LifeSite News, bitch. Here we go. LifeSite News. U.S. fertility rate hits record low after fourth consecutive annual decline. All right, I don't know. What is this? What am I looking at? This looks like just a goddamn garbage-ass news site. It is a garbage-ass news site. What the fuck am I looking at here? Here, I'll show you guys what I'm fucking looking at. This is it. Come on, go on. Fucking stupid piece of shit. Get up there. Come on. You can load. It's okay. I promise you, it's going to be fine. Like, this is what we're thinking here? This? Chick-fil-A funded anti-Christian org that inspired shooter to target Family Research Council. Chick-fil-A! It's so crazy. They went from funding all the conservative pet causes to funding fucking anti-Christian shooters, apparently. God damn. What a turnaround. It's like a fucking WWE fucking turn. I don't know if it's a heel turn or a face turn. I guess that's depending on your perspective. Michigan Catholic priest denies communion to local married, in quotes, homosexual judge. Yeah, the second that gay marriage became legal, you lost the ability to fucking put it in quotes. Married. Ooh, it's not real marriage, though, because we're Christians. 2020. Look at this. This is a garbage-ass news site. You're going to thank this piece of shit? It's too bad it's not still printed on paper so we can wipe our ass. It's another fucking conservative rag.
And for bringing it to my attention.
Oh, yeah.
Let me read a little bit, actually, from LifeSite News.
Yeah, you do that, buddy.
It says, provoking concern among both parents and students, an Illinois school district voted last week to allow gender-confused students to choose which restrooms and locker rooms reflect their gender identity.
Okay. I mean, if they have a gender identity, are they really gender confused? You know what I mean? I guess it's just, you saying they're confused. Maybe they don't feel confused. Maybe they're like, I'm a chick and I'm going to fucking be a chick now. You know? And then you're like, you're confused. It's like, no, I'm not. I'm pretty sure I'm a chick. I'm going to do it. I mean, even if they are confused or whatever, like, or you don't believe it. I mean, like, I hate all these stupid arguments about trans people. Like, they're not really, like, who cares? I don't care. Who really is whatever. I'm a libertarian when it comes to that kind of shit. So as far as I'm concerned, whatever the biological reality is, the social reality can be something totally different. You want to fucking get some big old titties. I mean, I got titties. I don't know if that makes me a chick. I don't give a fuck. I'll be whatever I want. I'll be a fucking aardvark. I'm aardvark-kin now. You can't stop me, bitch. I'm not confused. I'm a fucking aardvark. And you know that. You look at me, look into my eyes. Stare upon my aardvarkiness, bitch. Yeah. One of the first words in the fucking dictionary, bitch. Anyway, I'm just rambling.
I
shouldn't do these when I'm fucking like at 11 o'clock at night when I'm like, oh wait, it's midnight basically. I shouldn't start these at midnight and be like when I'm already tired and be like, all right, after this long fucking day, let's go listen to morons and start screaming about what I'm an aardvark. Maybe I am confused. Maybe you got a point. Oh, aardvark-kin for life. Someone's calling this dude right-wing Steve Shives. I don't really notice. I mean, like, other than the beard. I guess he's got the beard.
District 211 voted 5-2 last Thursday evening to adopt a new policy for Palatine High School, according to the Daily Herald.
Almost like Palpatine High School, Fucking, Palpatine, Palatine, pretty close. I think this fucking high school is going to be starting some shit. They're working on the fucking Death Star and shit. Instead of fucking blowing up your planet, it just makes you gender confused. What am I?
It declares that students shall be treated and supported in a manner consistent with their gender identity.
All right.
Which shall include students having access to restrooms and locker rooms that correspond to their gender identity.
All right.
The vote came at a meeting attended by nearly 500 community members after the school board rejected a proposal to let the community vote on the question in a district-wide referendum. Many of the attendees vehemently disapproved of the plan, with one video in particular starkly contrasting the benefit to trans students with the fallout for the majority. Okay, now the video referenced.
All right, cool.
What you're going to see here are two reactions
video
to this insane vote by the psychos over at this school board.
Psychos? Are they psychos? I mean, I love it. Everybody who disagrees with me, psycho. You're a fucking psycho, Holmes. I mean, maybe they're just people who don't see the world in quite the same way you do. Maybe that just makes it, maybe it's just a disagreement, Maybe we don't need to bring psychopathy into this. Like, psychopathy means, like, a lack of empathy and shit, right? So, I mean, obviously, if they're doing this, they have empathy towards the fucking, trans or whatever the fuck, non-binary, all that nonsense. You know, they have empathy towards those kids, right? So how the fuck are they psychopathic? Are you just using it because you don't want to use a more general term like crazy? It's crazy what they doing. I don't know. Let's see.
The first is a boy gloating that now he gets to change in the girls' locker room. And the second is a girl, a real, actual, biological girl, giving
a real, actual, biological girl.
An honest reaction to what has transpired. And you can...
Oh, okay. An honest reaction. The first kid, who I'm assuming is not a boy, but identifies as a girl, her reaction, total bullshit, fake reaction. But the girl, the biological girl, honest reaction, because it agrees with you. Everything that agrees with me is honest and good. Everything that disagrees with me is psycho. You're a fucking psycho. Only psychos would disagree with the great and powerful Matt Walsh, or whatever my fucking name is.
To tell that she is hurt, she's scared, she feels betrayed, she's got tears in her eyes. I do not know how any decent person could watch the video I'm going to play for you.
All right.
And not feel sympathy.
All right. Well, let's see.
For the girl.
Let's see.
I really, you'll see the boy and then the girl.
Okay.
I don't know how you could possibly watch this.
Okay.
And feel more sympathy.
All right. Yeah. Hey, you want to dump any more poison into that well, buddy? I think we got it, okay? I think the well is plenty poisoned enough. I think you got it, dude. Like, there's more poison than water at this point. So how about you show us the fucking video, huh?
Sympathy for the boy than for the girl.
Okay.
But tell me what you think.
All right, let's see what I think. And remember, you told me to tell you what I think. Now, maybe I'll agree with you. Maybe I'll see it, and maybe I'm going to be moved to your fucking position. I see that there's people in the audience holding a sign that says trans students belong in locker rooms. And I see that there's people that look like they're probably not on that side, but I don't know for sure because they don't have signs. I see that. I mean, well, actually, hold on. I don't know. Seems like a lot of people in this crowd are there to support the trans students. You made it sound like everyone was there like totally against this bullshit. Seems like a lot of people are there on the other side, too. It seems like maybe it's actually contentious. But I guess all those people are just psychos, man.
I'm really hoping they vote for it. It's definitely going to be a step forward in progress. I'm really excited if they vote for it. A bit nervous, though, as always. Just you never know. But it's definitely a first step forward in many more steps. It's a great policy. Unfortunately, it's not everything we want, such as talking about even the small things like changing the name on your student ID, which you're required to wear at all times. So I'm really hoping that the district makes the right decision here and votes it.
Those are some strange glasses. I know that's beside the point. But it's like those glasses, they want to be round, but then at the very top, they're like, nah, straight, bitch. So this is the first girl who was described as a boy. But I'm going to respect the fucking gender identity because why not? Why not? Why the fuck not, goddammit? And I don't care, biological this, biological that. What the fuck is the problem with people having a choice? You know? If I want to dress if I want to get a goddamn, I'll do whatever the fuck I want, bitch. If I want to wear a bikini and go around fucking calling myself Michelle, you respect that? Or you get bludgeoned in the fucking head with a 2x4, bitch. I'll be a fucking super fuscular mega bitch. I'll be like the, what was the fucking character on South Park? Basically like the Macho Man Randy Savage looking bitch. Who's just, I don't know, man. Yeah, they kind of look like Harry Potter glasses that gave up at the very top.
Yeah, it passed. It passed.
And how does that make you feel?
Oh, I'm ecstatic. I'm just.
See that dude right there? That bald motherfucker? When I saw that dude in the crowd looking all fucking like a piece of shit, I thought he was on the other side of this. I thought he was one of these curmudgeonly people that was like, "Ah, goddamn fucking trannies." But no. Apparently he's like, "Yeah, trannies, cool." I don't want to. No, I'm not. No, I see someone in the fucking chat being like, "You're a trans ally." No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm an ally. I'm just a libertarian, motherfucker, and I'm a liberal libertarian. But when it comes to these social issues, yeah, maximum fucking freedom, and that should include the freedom to be like, "Yeah, I'm a chick now. I don't give a fuck." Why not? Why shouldn't you have that fucking ability? I don't see any reason it should be denied.
I'm sorry.
Man, this kid's a monster, dude. You just look at this kid, you're like, oh my God, what a confused piece of shit. Oh my God.
I feel uncomfortable that my privacy is being invaded as I am a...
All right. Oh, here's the other chick. Okay. So her privacy is being invaded. Let's take her very seriously. All right, I'm going to get in empathy mode. I'm going to flip on my little empathy switch. Empathy to full power. Let's try to hear her side and emotionally fucking connect with her concerns. I'm not going to be dismissive because I don't want to be I don't want to be Matt Walsh from the other side that just dismisses this girl's concerns. Let's listen to what she has to say.
Summer, I do change multiple times naked in front of the other students in the locker room, and I understand that the board has an obligation to all students, but I was hoping that they would go about this in a different way that would also accommodate students such as myself.
All right, so fair enough. I mean, but here's a few things. So number one, there's lesbians, right? So this idea of like, I don't want to change in front of, a biological male because I don't want my body being, sexualized by them. That's basically the concern, right? But there's dykes in that locker room. Can I still say dykes? I'm not saying it pejoratively. I think I can get away with it. There's lesbians in the locker room. There's other chicks that are fucking potentially scrutinizing your body. So there's that. Right? So that's thing number one. Thing number two, let me just get a little personal here. I'm a big, fat, disgusting son of a bitch. And when I was going to high school for the first time and having to do the locker room thing for the first time, because I think we started having to do locker room in high school. Maybe it was junior high we had to do it. But anyway, I was a fat son of a bitch then. I was just as fucking fat and disgusting a piece of shit then as I am now. I got a fucking small dick. I was way more fucking self-conscious about it then. Like nowadays, I don't really give a shit. But you're a teenager. You got the fucking hormones. You're confused about who you are and your place in the world and shit. So I was scared of the fucking locker room. I didn't want to fucking change in front of all the other dudes in the locker room. I felt fucking embarrassed. I felt like, oh my God, I don't want to do this. I feel like I don't want to be naked in front of these people. I feel like it's unreasonable. It's fucking weird and gross to have to do that. It's weird that that's part of the high school experience in the fucking first place. So, I mean, maybe just like, can there be like an option for girls like the girl that just appeared on the screen and kids like me who are just like really fucking shy about our bodies and shit, who don't want to fucking be, just don't want to do that in general? Like maybe like some sort of like you get a little privacy stall or something. I mean, like, would it really be so hard to construct a few of those around the locker room? I mean, like a little changing area where you can have a little bit of privacy and your body is not fucking available for fucking scrutiny from anybody. that wants to take a gander at you. Because, yeah, there's shy people out there. I remember my biggest fear, like, before I fucking went to school, before I started having to go locker room stuff, because, like, whenever it was, junior high, high school, whenever it fucking started, I was terrified of the fucking showers, you know? It's like, oh, we got to take fucking showers. And I'd seen movies and stuff where the showers are a fucking nightmare and there's people whipping towels at your ass and shit like that. And it's like, oh my God, no. No. I don't want to do it. I don't want to be naked. I don't want other dudes pointing at my fucking little shriveled dick and be like, I don't want it. I don't want that at all. Luckily, they didn't fucking force us to take the showers. It was optional. And because it was optional, you know how many people actually went and fucking used the showers when it was optional? There was one weird kid that would occasionally take showers. Occasionally. Everyone else just didn't do it. Because no one wanted to do that. No one wanted to fucking be naked in front of other people. It's horrible. It's a horrible fucking thing. Shouldn't even fucking be a thing. Like this locker room shit. Like we just need to reevaluate the whole fucking locker room fucking system, idea, whatever the fuck. Build some fucking little privacy stalls. Build some fucking little changing areas. Let people have some privacy if they want it. You know, if you don't mind, we'll just change in front of everybody. Go ahead and do that, I guess. But, you know, why can't there be an option? Why can't there be an option for people who are fucking distressed by the notion of having to change in front of people? Let's just take the trans thing out of it. Like, locker rooms are fucking weird. Just get rid of it. Get rid of it. I don't know. Maybe that's not practical. I'm not sure.
Okay, first of all, I dare anyone to step up and explain why that girl with tears in her eyes, terrified that she has to change in front of a boy. And you heard her explain, you know, she's in swimming, so she's using the locker room, she's getting completely changed. And I dare someone to explain why she's a bigot. Why she's a bigot for wanting.
I don't know if she's a bigot. I think she's like a little bit ignorant, maybe. Because of the lesbian thing I talked about earlier. You know, I don't know. I think she's just kind of stupid, maybe. Like you're really stupid because you're an adult and you should know better. But she's just a fucking teenager, so she's just a little ignorant. But ultimately, I can understand. Like I just said, you know, you don't want, if you don't want your body to be scrutinized, I think you should just be able to avoid that whole fucking ball of wax. Just avoid it all from the fucking word go. Because it's just like, you know, like why is that part of the fucking high school experience? Why is there this weird mandatory, now it's time to get naked in front of everyone else? Like, why is that a fucking thing? It shouldn't be. Should it? I mean, is there some fucking argument for why it should happen? I don't think there is.
Privacy. Please, someone, send me an email, explain it to me. Spell it all out, because I want to hear it. Now, second, for the sane among us, what you see here is the two competing claims, very clearly illustrated. We see the two sides represented. Okay. On one side, you have a biological boy dressed up like a girl, sort of.
If I was to see that that kid like in line at Chipotle or something, I think I would identify her as a girl. You know? I'd be like, okay, there's some girl in front of me in line. So, I mean, I don't know.
Who claims he has a right to change with girls. On the other side, you have a biological girl who claims she has a right to privacy and to be protected when she's in a vulnerable and exposed state at school. You're going to see here are two.
Oh, shit. I accidentally skipped some shit. But whatever. I mean, I've already addressed it. I mean, like, we've already fucking talked about it. You know? I mean, my answer to that is why do we expect these fucking students to be in a vulnerable fucking state at school anyway? Like, why is that even part of the fucking educational process? Why is that mandatory? Why is gym even a mandatory fucking thing? Like, what? I mean, I understand, health and all that bullshit, but like, I mean, for people like me, I don't know, man. I mean, my experience at gym is like, I would do the fucking bare minimum to get by in it, And I'm sure some people, they're just like, yeah, it's an easy class. Cool. We play some kickball or whatever. But for me, it was always like, I don't want to do that. Why is it mandatory? And even if it is mandatory, why do we have to fucking go to the locker room and change? Why do we have to change into some other bullshit? And even if we do have to change into some other bullshit, why can't we be given some fucking privacy? There's just all of these levels of like, why is it this way? So, I mean, I think you could just take the trans shit out of this entire issue. And because I don't know, I was apprehensive about it. I didn't have to, there was no transgender issue shit that required me to be nervous about changing in the locker room. All it was required was my own insecurity about my disgusting, fat fucking body. I mean, I think that, based on what I'm seeing in the chat, I think most people here feel the same way about this issue. Just like, yeah, why, unless you're fucking some sort of like chiseled fucking Greek god with a dick hanging halfway down to your knees, you're probably not wanting to get naked in front of other people that you don't know and don't want to know. Because it's horrible. Ugh. Anyway, that's our first story of the day. That's Matt Walsh poisoning that well, boy. Getting that well good and poisoned. Yeah, I love it. When I was in high school, I wore girls' clothes and changed in the men's locker room. Men didn't bother me. That's the problem. Okay. I'm not sure I understand the comment you made, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just stupid. Gym is America's lazy virtue signal for health when 99% of its culture is encouraging mindless consumption. Yeah. It's like trying to put a Band-Aid on a fucking gunshot wound. Well said. I was a fat kid with huge bosoms and a microphallus, an actual one. I got teased and beat up daily. It sucked, bro. I quit gym and dropped out. Right. Where's your fucking protection? Does Matt Walsh have any sympathy for you? I'm betting not. I'm betting he was the fucking kid in the locker room that fucking was cracking the fucking towel like in all those 80s movies. Did anyone else have to do the presidential fitness test, the one where you can't even do one pull-up and the coach makes fun of you? I don't remember doing that, but maybe. I forgot to play my small violin for that girl. I was expecting much more waterworks. I am disappointed. Yeah, she didn't even really seem that distraught, honestly. Like, the dude made it seem like she was, like, totally broken up by this decision and just, like, crying and stuff. I mean, she seemed kind of, like, I guess she seemed bummed, but, whatever. I mean, whatever. She's insecure. I'm not going to fucking hold it against her for being insecure. But, it's whatever. I mean, it seems a little ignorant. There's nothing gayer than the high school male locker. UWU. Good times. I don't know. I don't remember them. I don't remember those locker rooms being very gay. I remember those locker rooms being very anti-gay. I remember it being the time when overt heterosexuality asserted itself the hardest because there was like the potential for gayness there because there was dudes in state of undress. So a lot of the fucking dudes, they felt the need to like super overcompensate. Like, yeah, man, you see that fucking game, bro? Yeah. We're men. We're tough. So that was my experience with it, but, I don't know. There was a gay guy in my PE class. No one cared he was there. Yeah, I mean, this used to be the issue back in the day. It was like, oh, well, I don't want to shower in the locker room with no gays because they're going to be ogling me and stuff. It's like, chances are no one's fucking gives a shit about you to ogle you. Like, most of us, like 99% of humans are just not particularly attractive, especially like, just at a glance. So, I mean, like the idea that there's going to be a bunch of people just, oh, yeah, I can't wait to scrutinize your body. Chances are that they're trying to do the same thing you're doing. It's just like, let me just change as quickly as possible so I can get the fuck out of this uncomfortable environment as quickly as possible. That's pretty much what everyone in the locker room is doing. I don't think there's too many people that are like in the locker room like, ooh, let's see what's on display today. Oh, this naked flesh. Fuck that. Weird stuff. I'm fine with mandatory PE, not in the form I experienced it. I agree with that. Like, maybe if PE was more like free-form physical activity, like, wasn't so structured. Go be active. Find some, maybe, just make it like recess, They keep cutting recess down more and more and more. But you're supposed to go to fucking gym class, I love that TJ read UWU out. Well, what the fuck I'm supposed to do with it? It doesn't look like any kind of face, by the way. I know that's supposed to resemble some kind of face. But really, it just looks like a W in between two droopy titties. That's what I'm saying. Nobody cared about me being weird. Yeah. I hated the forced social participation. Yeah. Well, school sucks. I'm glad I don't have to do that no more. My high school was more free-form. Kind of sucked, to be honest. We just had 4 things to choose from. Oh, poor you. You didn't have to. I mean, fuck that, dude. You lucky son of a bitch. Sometimes we go to gym and it was like, today we're going to learn to fucking square dance. Like, what? Yeah, you're going to need this skill in life. Square dancing. It's like, who the fuck square dances? Get out of here. What is this, the fucking Grand Ole Opry? Piss off with that. I don't want to learn to square dance. We're going to play kickball. It's like, fuck, I don't want to play fucking kickball. We're going to run laps. Oh, we walking around in a fucking circle. I guess you're supposed to run. I never ran. I always just walked. Fucking coaches be like, get your fucking some hustle in your step, boy. Nope. Just going to walk leisurely. You can piss off. You're not allowed to legally hurt me, so there's no way for you to enforce this idea that I have to fucking run, because I'm not doing it. I'm not fucking doing it. It's not my bag, all right? Anyone else have a fucking square dance shit? Do you have to do, like, line dancing shit? Like, fucking Cotton-Eye Joe bullshit? Ugh. Hideous. Like, why is that part of any curriculum? I don't want to fucking line dance. I don't want to square dance. Fuck off. It's hideous. It's just wrong. It's not something that anyone should do, ever. I mean, I guess if you want to do it for fun, like you're just some weird fuck. Which, by the way, as in terms of, like, weirdness, trans people don't hold a candle to someone who actually wants to fucking line dance. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, why is my tax money going to fucking square dancing lessons? Bullshit. Bull motherfucking shit. You had self-defense in school? That's way cooler than fucking line dancing. At least self-defense, there's some justification for it. Like, hey, kids, you might be attacked at some point, so, it's best if you know a few moves. Kick some ass. Here, watch a Bruce Lee movie. But square dancing, that's literally never coming in handy. Hold your partner round and round, throw your partner on the ground, grab a brick and hit their head, beat them until they are dead. Kind of combined the square dancing and the self-defense there. I don't know. At the point where you're beating someone in the head with a brick, I guess it's not really defense anymore. So that might be an issue. I don't know. Problem with self-defense at school is the bully learns it too. That's true. They should exclude the bullies from that class, you know? It's like, all right, Michael, you're a fucking bully thug little piece of shit, so get the fuck out of here while we teach everyone else how to kick your ass. There was no self-defense in my school because that would have been useful. When I was in the school, they always avoided teaching us anything useful. Could teach us a bunch of lies about history that you later find out are all bullshit. Teach you some fucking algebra that you're probably never going to use. But don't teach you how to fucking even if they do try to teach you something useful, it's always like, here's how to balance a checkbook. It's like, what the checkbook? What is this, the 80s? Teach me what a fucking interest rate is, Fuck you, man. Teach people like, here's how you responsibly use a credit card. So you don't go batshit crazy when you fucking get your first credit card at 18 or 19 and think like, I have unlimited money. Woo! My PE was running laps and watching sports documentaries. Gross. My school didn't have any weights. There's no weights. There's just line dancing and fucking dodgeball and running laps and playing soccer and just garbage. Horrible, horrible garbage. Fuck school. Anyway, let's listen to Sacha Baron Cohen speaking to the Anti-Defamation League. And because it's so long, I am going to speed it up a little bit. I'm going to go to 1.5 speed. If you can't understand it, fuck you. I'm not listening to 24 minutes of this shit. We got to speed it up somehow.
Thank you very much. Thanks for everyone who stood up. Unnecessary, but very flattering. Thank you, Jonathan, for your very kind words. Thank you, the Anti-Defamation League, for this recognition and your work
Anti-Defamation League fucking sucks, by the way.
in fighting racism, hate, and bigotry. And to be clear, when I say racism, hate, and bigotry, I'm not referring to the names of Stephen Miller's Labradoodles.
Who the fuck is Stephen Miller? Some kind of easy target somewhere, probably. Who the fuck is that? Stephen Miller. I'm looking it up. White House advisor Stephen Miller. All right, I guess he's someone in the Trump White House. Cool.
Now, I realize that some of you may be thinking, what the hell is a comedian doing speaking at a conference like this? I certainly am.
Whoa.
I've spent most of the past 2 decades in character. In fact, this is the first ever time that I've stood up and given a speech as my least popular character, Sacha Baron Cohen. And I have to confess, it is terrifying. I realize that my presence here may also be unexpected for another reason. At times, some critics have said my comedy risks reinforcing old stereotypes. The truth is, I've been passionate about challenging bigotry and intolerance throughout my life. As a teenager in England, I marched against the fascist National Front and to abolish apartheid. As an undergraduate, I traveled around America and wrote my thesis about the civil rights movement with the help of the archives of the ADL. And as a comedian...
Let's just take a moment to applaud. Wow. He stood up against bigotry, y'all. Come on. Round of applause, my friends. Come on. Woo! Down with bigotry. Down with bigotry. This motherfucker right here. This motherfucker right here. This motherfucker right here. He stood up against the bigots and the racists and the hate mongers in our society. In all of Western society. And he fucking did the right thing. He marched with shit. He stood up against shit. He did shit, motherfucker. What is wrong with his hair? Hey, there's nothing wrong with his hair. Don't be a bigot. Don't be no fucking bigot, bitch. All right, come on.
Media, and I've tried to use my characters to get people to let down their guard and reveal what they actually believe, including their own prejudice. Now, I'm not going to claim that everything I've done has been for a higher purpose. Yes, some of my comedy, okay, probably half my comedy has been absolutely juvenile. And the other half completely puerile. But I admit there was nothing particularly enlightening about me as Borat from Kazakhstan, the first fake news journalist, running through a conference of mortgage brokers while I was completely naked. But when Borat was able to get an entire bar in Arizona to sing, "Throw the Jew down the well," it did reveal people's indifference to anti-Semitism. When, as Bruno, the gay fashion reporter from Austria, I started kissing a man in a cage fight in Arkansas, nearly starting a riot, it showed the violent potential of homophobia. And when disguised as an ultra-woke developer, I proposed building a mosque in one rural community, prompting a resident to proudly admit, "I am racist against Muslims," it showed the growing acceptance of Islamophobia. That's why I really appreciate the opportunity to be here with you. Today, around the world, demagogues appeal to our worst instincts. Conspiracy...
I mean, that's fine. I have no problem with this part of the speech. You know, if you want to use your comedy or your artistic ability or your, whatever the fuck you have going for you, whether you be a writer, a comedian, a dramatist, a poet, a visual artist of some kind, if you want to use that talent and ability towards the end of promoting your own sort of political ideas or social ideas or exposing bigotry or whatever the fuck you want to do with it, or promoting bigotry if you want, that's fine. That's your purview. It's your fucking talent. It's your fucking ability. Use it however you see fit.
Theories once confined to the fringe are going mainstream. It's as if the age of reason, the era of evidential argument is...
Wait, what is this idea of like, oh, well, ideas once confined to the fringe are going mainstream? As if, I mean, when were these ideas ever fringe, man? Like, go watch a movie from the 70s or the 80s or the 50s. Or, like, just go dip your toe in any other era of popular culture. Racism, historically, just like looking at modern society, like looking at the 20th and 21st centuries, like racism and bigotry and homophobia and all that stuff were way more acceptable fucking 50 years ago, 30 years ago, even 20 years ago than they are today. So I don't know what this narrative is of like things that used to be so fringe. Now they're just accepted. Like Bugs Bunny, there was a Bugs Bunny cartoon where he fights a little fucking black caricature and he dresses up as a southern plantation master. Bugs Bunny does. And the black character's like, "Oh, please don't whip me, massa." That's a thing that exists, There's some pretty racist shit in our history. There was a fucking movie in the 80s called Soul Man that entirely centers around a dude who dresses in blackface so he can get a minority scholarship to fucking college. I mean, come on. This is not new shit. It's not like, we had racism on the ropes. But in recent times, oh no, it's coming back, the revenge of the racism. These are it's like racism is at its most, it's like the height of social unacceptability at this point. It's to the point where, Roseanne Barr says something like one tweet that could vaguely be construed as racist. That probably wasn't, it probably didn't even have racist intent behind it if you actually look at the facts of the fucking case. Something that's incidentally could be construed as racist is enough to instantly lose her a job, instantly lose her a lucrative fucking television contract, despite the fact that she's got the #1 rated comedy on fucking television. There was a guy, a wrestling guy, Jim Cornette, I think, who just recently, he made a joke about Ethiopians. He made a joke about someone being so tough that they could drive around Ethiopia with a bag of food of some kind. I don't remember. There was some specific food, but that was enough to get him fired from his job. Because he made an off-color joke about Ethiopians. So we live in a time when you step a tiny, insignificant little toe out of line on the racial thing, and you're just totally fucking destroyed. Destroy your career, destroy your life, destroy everything you've worked for because you said something that someone else construed as racist. But we're supposed to believe that this is like the pinnacle of racism at this time, and that, these ideas that were once consigned to the fringe. When was that, Sasha? When was that? These ideas once consigned to the fringe are now making this horrible resurgence. Oh my God. Bullshit. False narrative. Doesn't add up. The facts don't fucking add up to whatever.
Ending. And now knowledge is increasingly delegitimized and scientific consensus is dismissed. Democracy, which depends on shared truths, is in retreat, and autocracy, which depends on shared lies, is on the march. Hate crimes are surging, as are murderous attacks on religious and ethnic minorities. Now, what do all these dangerous trends have in common? I'm just a comedian and an actor, I'm not a scholar, but one thing is pretty clear to me. All this hate and violence is being facilitated by a handful of internet companies that amount to the greatest propaganda machine in history.
Citation needed? Maybe you were going to get it. Okay.
Greatest propaganda machine in history. Let's think about it. Facebook, YouTube, and Google, Twitter, and others, they reach billions of people. The algorithms these platforms depend on deliberately amplify the type of content that keeps users engaged. Stories that appeal to our baser instincts and that trigger outrage and fear. It's why YouTube recommended videos by the conspiracist Alex Jones billions of times. It's why fake...
Yeah, and then they then they banned him from their platform entirely, right? So, I mean, this idea that, wow, like it's Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. Like, oh my God, it's these platforms. It's got to be these platforms that are the problem. No, it's not the platforms. It's that people who were not empowered to speak out in any way, shape, or form and had no sort of voice in the broader conversation of this country, all of a sudden did. So all of like racism was never fringe. Like, okay, so popular culture started to kind of bury the cat turd of racism and bigotry and say, no, we're going to kind of push that to the fringes, like you're talking about. But, it never went away in the American household. There was still plenty of dudes sitting on their couch blaming the Mexicans or the blacks. Blacks isn't the word they typically use, by the way. Blaming the blacks or the Mexicans or whoever for all their problems, right? And those people, for a while, they didn't see their point of view reflected in popular culture at all. They didn't have any, they never saw their point of view. But then when you invent social media, all of a sudden, these people have a place where they can go and say, I feel this way. I dislike these other races. And then some other racist somewhere eventually sees it and, a thumbs up. Good for you. I also hate people who aren't the same color as me. Different sexual orientations, I don't like those either. Gender identity, bullshit. I hate that as well. And so all these people that, it's kind of weird to say that racists were marginalized, but really they were. All these marginalized racists who, for the longest time, didn't have, it's not like they didn't have their voice at all in society, because obviously to some extent they did. But like popular culture had kind of, isolated them to some degree. But at the advent of social media, you're not going to be like, the whole point is, now everybody's part of the conversation. And when everybody's part of the conversation, there's going to be racists who are part of the conversation. And it's going to turn out that There's a lot more racists than you thought there were. And there's a lot more homophobes than you thought there were. And there's a lot more people that hate transgender people than you thought there were. You know? And that's not YouTube's fault. That's not Twitter's fault. You know, that's none of these platforms' fault. They're just accurately reflecting the reality of this fucking country and this planet. You know, these people haven't been brainwashed. I mean, maybe some have, I don't know. But by and large, they haven't been brainwashed. Oh, I'm a racist now. I was a totally woke person who was, you know, tolerant and you know, accepting of others. And then I got on Twitter, and next thing I know, hey, where do I sign up to join the KKK, my friend? That didn't happen. All that happened was the racists found each other. That's what happened.
News outperforms real news because studies show that lies spread faster than truth. And it's no surprise that the greatest propaganda machine...
Yeah, because you can make a lie as interesting as you want. I mean, of course lies spread It's not that it's a lie that makes it spread faster. It's the fact that you can cater a lie to anything. You know? You can always make a lie sound cool. You can always target a lie to a particular demographic. Reality oftentimes is a fucking drag. So of course a lie spreads faster. Because you can tailor it. You can make it whatever you want. You can fucking have it confirm whatever group you're targeting's set of biases and shit.
In history has spread the oldest conspiracy theory in history, the lie that Jews are somehow dangerous. As one headline put it, just think what Goebbels could have done with Facebook. On the internet...
I mean, he seemed like he did pretty well without it. I mean, I seem to recall that Goebbels accomplished a lot of anti-Semitic shit without ever having a Facebook, you know? I don't know. I mean, I feel like the way that these social media platforms are, I think that Goebbels probably would have been censored off of Facebook in pretty short order. Get on Facebook, death to the Jews, banned. Like that's where that goes, right? So I don't know what you're talking about there.
Everything can appear equally legitimate. Breitbart resembles the BBC. The fictitious protocols of the Elders of Zion look as valid as an ADL report. And the rantings of a lunatic seem as credible as the findings of a Nobel Prize winner. We have lost, it seems, a shared sense of basic facts upon which democracy depends. When
Yeah, whatever, dude. No, I mean, what are you talking about? You keep referencing this bygone era when it's just like everybody was just, oh, yeah, we're all about facts and there's no one's lying. I mean, that's bullshit, dude. The mainstream press lies to us all the time in this country. I mean, look no further than the issue. I mean, like, it's a famous fucking case and people mention it all the time. I don't mean to belabor the fucking point or whatever, but, like, just look at William Randolph Hearst and his war against cannabis, you know, where he didn't want to compete with the hemp industry. So he propagated he used his position as the owner of several newspapers, some of the most popular and well-circulated papers in the United States of America. And he used his papers to lie to the American people and spread fear about marijuana, which eventually led to it being outlawed. And he preyed upon people's racism and bigotry. He said, all these blacks and Mexicans are smoking this new drug, marijuana, that makes them go nuts. And it makes them rape white women, and it makes them steal, and it makes them a dangerous threat to society. And it was all bullshit. It was all lies. But it didn't matter. Because it was just one dude who controlled the narrative, who controlled information. I mean, I think if anything, the fact that we now have social media and that there's all these various sources competing is a lot better than in the day when there was just a few information brokers out there, who were just as likely to be corrupted by their power as anyone is today. And at least now there's ways to push back against the narrative. If there's some fucking terrible article, someone can fact check it. And yeah, maybe someone who wants to believe what the article has to say is going to disregard the fact checker. I mean, anybody who's ever argued with a Trump supporter knows that if you point out something bad Trump has done, it's just instantly dismissed as fake news. He's like, oh, it's just fake news. Just a bunch of lies. Trump never did nothing wrong. He's a good man. He's just wonderful. Anybody who says anything against Trump is obviously a liar. So, yeah, I mean, to some extent, people do have this, like, choose-your-own-adventure approach to reality at this point. But honestly, it's better than letting a bunch of, like, some rich fucking newspaper magnate control the fucking narrative just because he's a fucking billionaire, which we also have going on to this day. So this idea that there are these, like, vaunted institutions where we should trust the information we're being presented with, and, you know, everybody, all the big corporate media shit that's part of, oh, yeah, let's bow before that monolith because that's reliable and that's true. But the outsiders who are presenting, you know, information that the mainstream doesn't want you to hear, they're all liars. They're all bad. Like, what a simple fucking worldview. The fact of the matter is that both the independent media is lying to you, people on social media are lying to you, people in the mainstream media are lying to you, and it's your job as an individual to suss the fucking truth out. And you know what? You are 100% guaranteed to fail at that task. You are 100% guaranteed to fail because you're a human being, and within your head there's a set of biases and things that confirm those biases you are way more likely to believe. Even if you're aware of that fact, you're still likely to believe things that you're biased towards. Like, I mean, I've fallen for it. Who the fuck hasn't? I've fallen for bullshit stories that fucking preyed upon my biases. You know, there was this fake news story about this feminist that was going around pouring bleach on dudes for manspreading. You know, it was a Russian story, I think. And I believed it because I've seen the feminists complain about manspreading, and I don't like fucking modern day feminism. So I believed the story. Turned out to be total bullshit. And I had to be like, hey, I got duped. There was a story just a little while ago about that chick who directed the new Charlie's Angels movie. I can't remember her fucking name. There was a story that said that basically she called men. He said men are just too stupid to understand feminist entertainment. She never said that. She said some things that were kind of in that vein, but she never said that. It was a fake quote. But I bought it. I just bought it because I'm like, yeah, I hate that bitch. Damn right she said that. And yeah, is there a danger to that? Obviously. But to say that, you know, we were better off in the times of William Randolph Hearst and these monolithic media institutions, sorry, but that's bullshit.
The wannabe gangster Ali G asked the astronaut Buzz Aldrin, what was it like to walk on the sun? The joke worked.
Who laughs at that? It doesn't work. It didn't work for me. Maybe I just have no sense of humor. I don't know. I'm more laughing at how unfunny I find that joke than I am at that joke, because I was totally stone-faced for the joke. But I'm laughing at the audience that actually laughs at that terrible joke.
Worked because we, the audience, shared the same facts. If you believe the moon landing was a hoax, the joke doesn't work.
Well, I don't believe the moon. I believe the moon landing happened. I believe that Buzz Aldrin did walk on the moon. And yet still, somehow, your brilliant joke just didn't manage to amuse me. Strange.
Borat got that bar in Arizona to agree that Jews control everybody's money and they never give it back. The joke worked because the audience shared the fact that the depiction of Jews as miserly is a conspiracy theory originating in the Middle Ages. But when, thanks to social media, conspiracies take hold, it is easier for hate groups to recruit, easier for foreign intelligence agencies to interfere in our elections, and easier for a country like Myanmar to commit genocide against the Rohingya.
I mean, like, once again, like, citation needed. Citation needed. What do you mean? Like, how do you know that? How do you know that anything, where's the causal link between those things? Because last I checked, anti-Semitism has flourished in various, like, there's been so many pogroms and fucking genocides against the Jews throughout history, long before there was any internet. I mean, you just said yourself that the depiction of Jews as miserly is something that started in the Middle Ages. Well, we got from the Middle Ages to, like, well into the 20th century with no internet and no social media, and yet anti-Semitism persisted that entire fucking time. So, once again, what are you talking about, man? What the fuck are you talking about?
Now, it's actually quite shocking how easy it is to turn conspiracy thinking into violence. In my last show, Who is America?, I found an educated, normal guy who'd held down a good job, but who, on social media, repeated many of the conspiracy theories that President Trump, using Twitter, has spread more than 1,700 times to his 67 million Twitter followers. The president even tweeted that he was considering designating Antifa, who are anti-fascists who march against the far right, as a terror organization. So, disguised as an Israeli anti-terrorism expert, Colonel Eran Morad, yalla, let's go. Disguised as him, I told my interviewee that at the Women's March in San
I mean, like, all right, come on. I want to make it clear. I don't think Antifa is a terrorist organization. I think if you do think Antifa is a terrorist organization, you've got to be some kind of fucking pussy, because they're not terrifying in the slightest. But, I mean, come on. We've all seen them use violence. They do more than just march. We've seen them with bats. We've seen them with pipes. We've seen them with bike chains. We've seen them attack people. Now, maybe you can say, maybe those people deserve to be attacked. Well, then you're the one promoting violence. So these are not a bunch of cuddly little kittens, okay? There's not just people, we're marching against fascism. You know, I mean, most of what they're marching against, by the way, is a democratically elected fucking leader of our country. So, and I don't like Trump. I think Trump's a piece of shit. And I do think he has some fascistic tendencies. But he's not an outright fascist as of yet, okay? And Antifa are not just innocuously marching against him. They're out there fucking attacking people and doing fucked up shit. And not all of them. I'm sure there's Antifa that are just marching, but, you know, a lot of them are fucking attacking people. Attacking political rivals and having warfare in the streets of Portland. It's like Proud Boys versus Antifa. Let's fucking do battle in the streets. You know, and whatever. You know, but these are not like cuddly little kittens who are just, they're just against fascism and they're just marching against fascism and trying to preserve freedom in this country or whatever the fuck. Bullshit. Terrorists don't have to be terrifying. They just have to want to be terrifying. I mean, well, then you can call them wannabe terrorists at best. I don't even think that Antifa doesn't even seem like their goal is to intimidate. I don't know. I mean, is it? Are they trying to be scary? Because, they're just not even remotely approaching what I'm afraid of on any given day. I mean, like, most people that I just see randomly walking down the street are scarier than most of these little, like, wiry, scrawny, underfed, vegan-looking Antifa motherfuckers. I mean, yeah, like... Juggalos are definitely scarier than Antifa. I guess the FBI considers juggalos a gang, which is also stupid. Like, to me, you can call Antifa, like, when Antifa blows something up or, like, burn down a fucking, like, government building or something, all right, they can be terrorists then. But until, I'm like, as long as they're just like, I got a bike chain, I'm so scrawny I can barely lift it. That's not terrorism. That's fucking unintentional comedy.
San Francisco, Antifa were plotting to put hormones into babies' diapers in order to make them transgender. And this man believed it. I instructed him to plant small devices on 3 innocent people at the march and explained that when he pushed a button, he'd trigger an explosion that would kill them all. They weren't real explosives, of course, but he thought they were. I wanted to see, would he actually do it? The answer was yes. He pushed the button and thought he had actually killed 3 human beings. Voltaire was right when he said, those who can make you believe absurdities can make you commit atrocities. And social media...
All right, so that's pretty crazy, actually. I'll give him that. You know, the fact that he was able to find somebody that he fucking, I'm going to go blow... You put these explosive devices on people, blow them up. If that's all true, and there's no showbiz razzle-dazzle going on, I'll admit, that's a pretty crazy story.
Yeah, lets authoritarians push absurdities to billions of people. Now, in their defense, these social media companies have taken some steps to reduce hate and conspiracies on their platforms, but these steps have been mainly superficial. And I'm talking about this today because I believe that our pluralistic democracies are on a precipice, and in the next 12 months, and the role of social media could be determinant. Now, British voters will go to the polls while online conspiracists promote the despicable theory of the Great Replacement, that white Christians are being deliberately replaced by Muslim immigrants. Americans will vote for president while trolls and bots perpetuate the disgusting lie of a Hispanic invasion. And after years of YouTube videos calling climate change a hoax, the United States is on track a year from now to formally withdraw from the Paris Accords. A sewer of bigotry and vile conspiracy theories.
I thought we didn't even enter into the Paris Accords. By the way, I just read a story the other day that says the Paris Accords aren't doing shit. They haven't even slightly slowed down the rate of CO2 saturation in our atmosphere. So it's basically just a totally empty gesture. It doesn't even come close to actually addressing the problem. So it's like, who cares? Symbolic bullshit gesture. It doesn't even begin to actually substantively address the problems of climate change. So who even really gives a fuck? As for this Great Replacement thing and the Mexican invasion thing, I mean, so when I don't know about the British thing. You know, I don't live in Britain, so I don't know about that. But as far as the Mexican thing goes, I mean, you know, I know people who have been genuinely affected by Mexican immigrants because they're willing to work super cheap. So I know a lot of people in my family are in the construction industry. So a lot of the fucking construction now is being done by illegal immigrants who are willing to work for way lower wages. And so they're able to bid much lower on jobs. And so they're driving, construction costs down, which for some sectors of the economy is good. If you're a person who wants to build something and you can hire a bunch of cheap Mexican labor to build the thing you want to build, that's great for you, obviously, because you saved a lot of money. But if you are someone who's in the construction industry and you're trying to, feed your family and stuff, and all of a sudden all these, all this cheap labor floods the market, not so good for you, right? So there's people out there who have a genuine fucking grievance with illegal immigrants. I mean, there just are. There's people who, don't get me wrong, like I said, there's certain people who are advantaged by it. And usually it's people who are a little bit higher up on the economic ladder, and there's people who are disadvantaged by it. Now, I think that the fears of Mexican immigrants are trumped up, so to speak. But to say that there's nothing there, to say that there's no real issue whatsoever, I mean, come on. There's a little something there. Let's be real. Let's be honest. And that's not to say that the immigrants who come here looking for work are bad people, or that, I'm not even saying necessarily they need to be stopped. But let's be real that, there's American workers whose lives are impacted by the flooding of cheap labor into markets where they used to be able to make a decent living and now they no longer can, or it's at least a lot harder to do so.
That threaten our democracy and to some degree our planet. This can't possibly be what the creators of the internet had in mind. I believe that it's time for...
And why are you... I just don't understand. So the main part of your thesis I don't understand is how you're laying the blame for all this shit you're talking about at the feet of the internet. Like, you're kind of acting like there was this non-racist, non-bigoted, utopian society that we'd achieved in the 90s or whatever. But then, people started getting their AOL discs in the mail, logging online. Next thing we knew, racism's back, baby. Like, I don't really feel like that's how it worked.
For a fundamental rethink of social media and how it spreads hate, conspiracies, and lies.
Woo! It's a weird woo moment. Woo! Hate, conspiracies, and lies spread on the internet. Woo! Yeah! Hell yeah! Woo!
Now, last month, however, Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook delivered a major speech that, not surprisingly, warned against new laws and regulations on companies like his. Well, some of these arguments are simply, pardon my French, bullshit. Let's count the ways. First, Zuckerberg tried to portray this whole issue as choices around free expression. That is ludicrous. This is not about limiting anyone's free speech. This is about giving people, including some of the most reprehensible people on earth, the biggest platform in history to reach a third of the planet. Freedom of speech is not freedom of reach. Sadly, there will always be racists, misogynists, anti-Semites, and child abusers. But I think we can all agree that we should not be giving bigots and pedophiles a free platform to amplify their views and target their victims.
I mean, so having access to social media doesn't guarantee you any kind of reach, right? Because, I mean, anybody can go create a Twitter account and go tweet whatever the fuck they want, you know? And by the way, this idea that these are just free-for-all zone, like Facebook, super censorship happy, Google, super censorship happy, Twitter, super censorship happy. The idea that these places are just free-for-all crazy zones where just anything goes, totally false. But even if it were true, like, you know, you're not these platforms don't guarantee you any sort of gigantic reach. You know, I mean, there's how many Twitter accounts are there with like 13 followers, you know? Joined in fucking, 2008, tweets every day. 100 fucking people following it, and pretty much none of them following it intently. There's tons of accounts like that. Click on any random Twitter account, and you're probably going to see that the person has, 60 followers, 70 followers, something like that. Probably mostly like a few friends and family, maybe some people they fucking know from the fucking internet forum, or fucking someone they play games with or something that follows them on Twitter. You know? Even if they're active on the fucking platform. So this idea that, we're just guaranteeing them this huge reach. And the thing with Facebook is, they want, people like Sacha Baron Cohen here want Facebook to fact check every fucking piece of information that's posted on Facebook. Like, how is that even logistically goddamn feasible? Like, do you know how much shit is posted on fucking Facebook every day? Facebook is supposed to have the capacity to fact check everything. And right now, I tried to do an ad for a video I did on, I think it was on the Joker movie. I was like, I think this Joker movie video could actually be popular. I'm going to do some promotion on this on Facebook. Just a small, do a little $40 ad campaign, get it in front of a few new eyeballs. You know what happened? I was told the video was too political. It was too political. Can't advertise that on Facebook. Too political. It was about the fucking Joker movie. So this idea that it's just this free-for-all and there's no regulation of it and Facebook is just sitting on its hands and just letting it be the fucking wild, wild west is bullshit. And by the way, if that was the case, it'd actually be better. I think it'd be much better if it really was that free-for-all, if it really was a place of no censorship and every fucking crazy psycho with a fucking wild idea about what should be going on had their fucking say, because I'm a free speech absolutist. I say, put it all out there. We accept the fact that you live in a fucking post-truth world and that really any idea of a concrete truth was always an illusion anyway. And just go swimming. Go swimming in the fucking plethora of crazy bullshit being peddled at you from various different factions. Just accept that you're never going to feel that good, comfy feeling of like, I know the real truth. That's gone. That's gone, and it's going to be gone forever because it never deserved to exist in the first place. Accept it. except that you live in a crazy world where you're never going to know what's real and you're never going to know what's fake and you're never going to have a solid grasp on anything. I mean, like, you're Sacha Baron Cohen, for fuck's sake. You're the guy who puts on crazy costumes and says wild shit. And, you know, you just, I mean, like, you're a chameleon, dude. You know the fucking pliable nature of truth. You should know it better than anybody. So you fucking asking for, oh, please, return me to the days of just one solid truth. Well, guess what? In those days, that one solid truth, that shining beacon of truth on the hill was a lie. It was a lie. It was just one lie that everyone could have faith in, rather than a million lies from all different directions, and any sort of semblance of truth that's out there is just lost in the fucking sea of crazy bullshit. If you want some firm, hard truth, you're on the wrong fucking planet. You're a member of the wrong fucking species.
Second, Mark Zuckerberg claimed that new limits on what's posted on social media would be to pull back on free expression. This is utter nonsense. The First Amendment says that, and I quote, Congress shall make no law abridging freedom of speech. However, this does not apply to private businesses like Facebook.
Who cares? There's a difference between the First Amendment and freedom of speech, right? Freedom of speech is a concept that goes well beyond what's contained in the First Amendment. Freedom of speech is an idea, and it's a responsibility of all people to preserve freedom of speech, if they believe in it, which I do. And that goes well beyond just like, well, Congress can't censor. But it's basically what you're trying to say is like, okay, well, the First Amendment says Congress can't censor us, but I mean, Facebook should definitely censor us, and Twitter, I definitely want them to have the power to censor the conversation and control the narrative. Oh, and you know, but by the way, the very platforms you're blaming for the current state of affairs, you want them to take more control. I mean, like, does that make sense to you? It doesn't make sense to me.
We're not asking these companies to determine the boundaries of free speech across society. We
Yes,
just
you
want
are.
them to be responsible on their platforms. Now, if a
Their platforms are society at this point, dipshit. I mean, your whole contention here is that these platforms have radically altered society. Well, that's because that's where people meet and congregate and discuss their ideas at this point. So asking them to curtail some speech that you don't like and to allow only this good speech that you do like is asking them to craft the narrative. You're asking them to take control over what's said, and at that point, you might as well just not even have social media. You might as well just go back to the days of old media where people read the newspaper and let the fucking William Randolph Hearst of the world tell people what's what.
Neo-Nazi comes goose-stepping into a restaurant and starts threatening other customers and saying he wants to kill Jews. Would the owner of the restaurant, a private business, be required to serve him an elegant 8-course meal? Of course not. The restaurant owner has every legal right, and indeed I would argue a moral obligation, to kick that Nazi out. And so do these internet companies.
No, they don't. No. That restaurant owner has no fucking obligation to kick that person out. They have the right. They have the right to kick that person out, but they don't have the obligation. If you want to serve a Nazi, that's your fucking business. And if the other people at the restaurant say, I'm not eating here because this dude serves Nazis, that's their fucking business. That's how the marketplace works there. But, I mean, how many times has that happened? I've been to a lot of restaurants in my life. I have yet to see one overt goose-stepping Nazi saunter in a fucking SS uniform and start threatening other patrons of the fucking establishment. Because you know what? Nazis are not typically this boogeyman caricature that you're making them out to be. You wouldn't know the difference between a Nazi and any fucking buddy else because they're going to do the same thing as everybody else. They're going to come in, they're going to sit at their table, they're going to eat their fucking, potato skins and fucking, spinach dip and whatever the fuck else. Eat their fucking mushroom Swiss burger and their fucking the sweet potato fries. And they're going to fucking pay their check and they're going to fucking leave. And you're never going to know that they were a Nazi or that they're a virulent fucking homophobe or any of that shit. Because they're not probably advertising that. Because that's not what a restaurant is for. A restaurant is a place you go to eat. But social media is a place where you go to speak. And if that Nazi wants to use that platform to speak, then they have the right to do it, or they should. You know what I mean? I don't know. I guess it's a topic of debate, what sort of rights anyone has on social media. And you could say, well, that's a private company, and so that company has the right to set up whatever standards it wants to. And I could see that point of view. But my point of view is that when a company like that becomes so big that, you know, the president is using Twitter to communicate to the people of this country, and there's, I don't even know how many millions or Twitter users. Maybe there's over 1 billion. I don't even fucking know. But it's the platform of mass communication, as is Facebook to a lesser extent. I don't know, maybe to a greater extent. I don't know what the fucking exact numbers are. YouTube, places like that. These are places where people go to speak their mind or to hear other people's minds spoken. And these are the mass communications platforms of our day. So should we really allow that to be cultivated by private business interests? Should we really allow those platforms to be wholly controlled and those narratives to be wholly controlled and what opinions are acceptable to express to be controlled by private business interests? Isn't that dangerous? I find that to be dangerous.
Now, third, Mark Zuckerberg seemed to equate regulation of companies like his to the actions of the most repressive societies. Incredible. This from one of the 6 people who decide what information so much of the world sees.
And you want to give him more power. You want to give him more power. You're here arguing that he should have more control over the narrative. But the idea is, well, he should have more control over the narrative, but ultimately it should be based on my sensibilities. So what's your position in all this? Like, why the fuck should billionaire Mark Zuckerberg, who created Facebook, bow to the whims of Sacha Baron Cohen and what he thinks is okay to say? Explain that one to me.
Zuckerberg at Facebook, Sundar Pichai at Google, at its parent company, Alphabet, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, Brin's ex-sister-in-law...
And by the way, if you're at the point of talking about regulation of Facebook and the kind of stuff that you could say on Facebook, that is Congress making a law curtailing freedom of speech. So at that point, it is a First Amendment issue. So fuck you and your disingenuous argument.
Susan Wojcicki at YouTube and Jack Dorsey at Twitter. The Silicon Six. All billionaires, all Americans who care more about boosting their share price than about protecting democracy.
Yeah, you seem super pro-democracy.
This is ideological imperialism. 6 unelected individuals in Silicon Valley imposing their vision on the rest of the world. Unaccountable.
I'm really fucking confused at this point because it seems like that's what you're advocating for. I mean, you're advocating for it in one breath, decrying it in the next breath. This whole speech just seems wildly fucking confused. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about anymore, dude. Like, do you want these people to crack down on freedom of speech on their platforms or don't you? Because in one breath you do, in the next breath you're against it, in the next fucking sentence you'll be for it again. Like, what exactly do you even want?
To any government and acting like they're above the reach of law. It's like we're living in the Roman Empire and Mark Zuckerberg is Caesar. At least that would explain his haircut. Now, here's an idea. Instead of letting the Silicon Six decide the fate of the world, let our elected representatives, voted for by the people of every democracy in the world, have at least some say.
Then that's Congress. That's Congress fucking abridging the right of the fucking free press. Social media is still media. So Congress is not supposed to curtail the right of people to speak. So saying that we need to have Congress Like, we need to have our lawmakers come in and tell these platforms what kind of speech is allowed on their platform. That's against the First Amendment. Right? So, I don't know why you mentioned, you mentioned earlier in the speech that it's okay for Facebook to censor people because that's only Congress can't do that. But now you're saying that Congress should make Facebook do that. So you're basically saying Congress can curtail free speech as long as they do it through a proxy. What? You fucking psycho? I mean, goddamn. I never knew Borat was such a nitwit. Fuck you, dude.
Fourth, Zuckerberg speaks of welcoming a diversity of ideas. And last year, he gave us an example. He said that he found posts denying the Holocaust deeply offensive, but he didn't think Facebook should take them down because I think there are things that different people get wrong. At this very moment, there are still Holocaust deniers on Facebook, and Google still takes you to the most repulsive Holocaust denial sites with a simple click. One of the heads of Google, in fact, told me that these sites just show both sides of the issue. This is madness. To quote Edward R. Murrow, one cannot accept that there are on every story two equal and logical sides to an argument. We have, unfortunately, millions of pieces of evidence for the Holocaust. It is an historical fact.
Yeah, but if someone wants to say it wasn't, I mean, they have the right to do that, don't they? I mean, why shouldn't they? Why shouldn't they? People have the right to say there's a God, even though there isn't, and there clearly isn't. If you just tell people, hey, you're not allowed to believe anything crazy anymore. You're not allowed to believe anything that's wrong. I mean, there's a whole host of things that people believe that are wrong. Like, you seem to believe that Congress, regulating what speech is allowed on Facebook is not a First Amendment violation, even though it fucking is. So should I be able to censor you since you're wrong, dipshit? People are allowed to be wrong. Being wrong is still part of fucking freedom of speech. No one is sitting here saying that, Holocaust denial and belief in the fact of the Holocaust are equally true, equally valid. But what is being said is that the people who are idiots, by the way, who deny the Holocaust and probably deny it because they're racist, bigoted pieces of shit, have every right to be racist, bigoted pieces of shit who believe something that's wrong and stupid. Because plenty of people believe wrong, stupid things. I'm sure I believe some wrong, stupid things. You definitely believe some wrong, stupid things. Everybody believes some wrong, stupid things. We can't, and if you give these companies the power to decide that they can censor, okay, well, this doesn't meet with the standards of fact-checking, you think that's not going to be abused? You think that there's you don't think there's going to be all of a sudden, all these facts? Well, now it's a fact that Israel is a good country and they've never done any human rights violations. And anyone who says they have done human rights violations, that's a conspiracy theory, and that's that. So basically, just let the people in positions of power dictate reality and censor any sort of alternative point of view. Now, I agree that there's some instances where it's totally clear what the truth is, and there's still people who deny it because they're idiots. But, I think we're better off allowing that than giving companies the power to, quote-unquote, fact-check everything that's posted online, which, by the way, even if I did agree that was a good idea in principle, it would still be completely untenable logistically. Like, how the fuck could you possibly fact-check everything posted on social media? You can't. You fucking can't. I mean, it's ridiculous. It would be an entire new industry that would have to be devoted just to fact-checking social media. And even then, they're not always going to get it right.
And denying it is not some random opinion. Those who deny the Holocaust aim to encourage another one. Still, Zuckerberg says that people should decide what is credible, not tech companies. But at a time when 2/3 of millennials say that they haven't even heard of Auschwitz, how are they supposed to know what's credible? How are they supposed to know that the lie is a lie?
All right, well, if they've never even heard of Auschwitz, what's the likelihood that they're reading Holocaust denial shit? I mean, they're probably fucking looking at Kim Kardashian's ass or reading the latest fucking Kanye tweet. You know what I mean? Like, if they're so blithely fucking dumb and stupid that they've never even fucking heard of Auschwitz, that Auschwitz is not even on their fucking radar, what's the odds that they're going out looking for Holocaust denial material? Because I can tell you one thing about everyone who fucking has a Holocaust denial page. They all have heard of Auschwitz. You know? So, I don't know what you're fucking talking about there.
There is such a thing as objective truth. Facts do exist. And if these internet companies really want to make a difference, they should hire enough monitors to actually monitor.
How many would that be? Like 20 million people? 30 million? I don't know. I don't even know how many people it would take to actually do the level of monitoring that you're talking about.
Work closely with groups like the ADL and the NAACP, insist on facts, and purge these lies and conspiracies from their platforms. Now, fifth.
Dude, Sacha Baron Cohen is a fucking lunatic. There's a fact for you. It's an objective fact that this motherfucker is insane. What the fuck? This guy's a fucking fascist. You want to talk about Nazis? Here's one right here. Maybe he doesn't have the bigotry of a Nazi, but he certainly has the fucking authoritarian tendencies of one. I can tell you that much.
When discussing the difficulty of removing content, Mark Zuckerberg asked...
By the way, I mean, like, if we want to get really fucking philosophical with it, is there really an objective reality? Because I don't think there is. Because there's no proof that solipsism isn't true. Maybe I'm just a fucking brain in a jar somewhere. And this is all just a fucking dream I'm having. And there is no Sacha Baron Cohen. You know? Maybe none of this is real. Maybe not even one molecule of this supposed universe exists. Now, I'm not saying I believe that, but I can't disprove that. And, if I can't even prove that reality exists, and science can't even prove that it exists, then how the fuck is there any sort of objective fact? I mean, beyond like the fucking cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. That's the only, that's fucking Descartes. Descartes' one truth that he could fucking figure out in his famous thought experiment. The only thing he could be certain of the existence of was his own consciousness. Now, modern neuroscience maybe has some issues with that statement. But ultimately, philosophically, I think it makes a good point. Beyond my own, I know that I am perceiving something. But I don't know that what I'm perceiving is reality. If even by the fucking definitions of science, I know that the reality that I live in is a construct of my own brain. That, is just a representation of reality. I basically live in a model of the world constructed by my head based on what sensory data I'm able to fucking, assimilate. But that's if that's even true. That's if I'm not just a brain in a vat whose entire reality is a dream. Which I don't know that that's not true. I don't think that's true. But once again, I can't disprove it. So if we're going to go on like that crazy of a fucking philosophical level, is there really an objective truth? I mean, maybe I'm going off the rails here. In fact, I'm pretty certain I am. But if you're going to just state to me, like, there's an objective reality, there's facts. Well, yeah, not necessarily, man. Not fucking necessarily.
Where do you draw the line? Yes, drawing the line can be difficult.
All right, I'll tell you where to draw the line. Draw the line up your fucking ass. Draw your line. Draw it with a big point at the end, and then shove it straight up your useless fucking ass. Because you're a fucking cocksucker, dude. I mean, Jesus. I'm so glad I sped this up. Because I think how long have I talked about this motherfucking shit? I suspected I would have tapped out by now, but man, this is bad. This has got to be one of the worst speeches I've ever heard in my life. If you want to hear an actual good speech against bigotry, go look at Charlie Chaplin's speech from The Great Dictator. There's someone who actually conveyed some of these ideas without being a fascist prick and actually was inspirational in doing it. Not this fucking guy. This guy basically is just like, people are dumb and can't be trusted, and that's why we need authoritarian big brother to watch over us and make sure we don't believe any wrong think.
But here's what he's really saying. Removing more of these lies and conspiracies is just too expensive. These are the richest companies in the world, and they have the best engineers in the world. They could fix these problems if they wanted to. Twitter could deploy an algorithm to remove more white supremacist hate speech, but they have reportedly haven't because it would eject some very prominent politicians from their platform. Maybe that wouldn't be such a bad thing. The truth is, these companies won't fundamentally change because their entire business model relies.
There have been plenty, by the way, of white supremacists kicked off of these platforms. There's anti-hate speech provisions on Twitter where, you know, plenty of people have been kicked off the fucking platform for saying racially insensitive things. Overt racism is not allowed on Twitter. So it's just, once again, a misrepresentation of what the platform is actually about. I'm not saying there's not people out there who skirt the rules. Clearly there are. But, you know, I'm just fatigued with this. What do you think? Move on? Can I move on? Do I have the chat's permission to move on from this? Because, man, I don't think I could take any more. Jesus. I'm going to move on. I'm not even going to wait for your guys' permission on this one. I just can't take it. Ugh. Oh, my God. I hope that he reveals that this is just his dumbest character yet. Because I think I'd actually rather hang out with Borat at this point. Wow. No, I'm not. I'm not even going to you. I'm not even going to you guys. I don't care. You can say whatever you want, but I'm done. Whatever you guys, if you guys all unanimously were like, please keep going, I'd still be like, fuck you, no. I just can't do it anymore. I feel fatigued. I feel just like horrible. Ugh. What a bunch of authoritarian, thought policing garbage. Anyway, I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to go get a drink for my parched throat. I'm going to go make sure my mashed potatoes aren't burning. And that's what I'm going to do. I'll be right back. I disagree with TJ on this issue because even though I'm the farthest thing from a libertarian, I think market serves us fine in terms of free speech on social media. Well, and how do you disagree with me? Because we're talking, this guy's on there advocating for regulation of the market. So, what? My mashed potatoes are doing all right. A little undercooked the potatoes ever so slightly. So there's little tiny chunks of potato that don't want to mash. So I'm having to doctor them a little bit, and that includes keeping them under heat and stirring them. You know. The last thing I want is a right-wing government redefining our speech rights on social media. Right. But that's what's being advocated for by Sasha. Well, he wants a left-wing government to do it. But that's the problem, you know? This idea, because, I mean, you know, that's a good point you bring up, actually, inadvertently, I think. You know, if you give the government the right to control what's allowed on these platforms, then, you know, who's to say the right wing might, you know, maybe the left wing passes the speech controls, but then the right wing uses them as soon as they're in power. So it's a problematic fucking thing. By the way, Sacha Baron Cohen, I still think is a funny comedian, but wow, really dumb opinions there. What about like yelling fire in a movie theater? What constitutes dangerous speech? Hold on one second. I have something I want to play for you. This is Christopher Hitchens.
If someone tells me that I've hurt their feelings, I say, well, I'm still waiting to hear what your point is.
Right.
I'm very depressed how in this country you can be told, that's offensive, as if those two words constitute an argument or a comment. Not to me, they don't. And I'm not running for anything, so I don't have to pretend to like people when I don't.
Right.
Fire.
Fire, 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 fire.
Okay, then fire. It's not that crowded theatre, but fire again.
And since Christopher came up with an American example, I think it's also worthwhile quoting the American Supreme Court Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes, who said that freedom of speech does not extend to the right to shout fire falsely in a crowded theatre. In other words, when your freedom of speech causes other people harm, you do have to think twice about whether you can exercise it. And I suppose at some point the authorities have the responsibility to ensure that freedom is exercised reasonably. It should have been. And, you know, it's easy enough to say that if something provokes a mob to violence, it's the mob that ought to be punished or prosecuted for violating the law and being violent. But then you get into the whole question of whether a certain offence was so grievous as to serve as a sort of extenuation for the outrage expressed by the mob. We've seen this in the Satanic Verses debate too.
Christopher?
Fire.
Wait.
Fire.
Well, you know he's saying it falsely, don't you?
No, well, two points about that. One is,
The only fire is at the
how
tip
do
of your
you
cigarette.
know how you could be just as liable to start a panic if there was a fire by shouting fire as you could, in fact more likely than you would be liable to start a panic if there was not, as I think I've just demonstrated. Justice Holmes's famous judgment, it seems to me, is one of the stupidest remarks ever made from the bench of the United States Supreme Court. And by the way, he made it in the following context. A group of Yiddish-speaking socialists who were opposed to Mr. Wilson's First World War, America's participation in the imperial bloodbath, gave out leaflets in Yiddish in New York saying, don't sign up for the war, don't believe in it, you're being led into a disaster. They were put in prison for life for producing leaflets in Yiddish, making a socialist case against the war. And the bloody fool Oliver Wendell Holmes had the nerve to say it was the equivalent of shouting fire in a crowded theatre where there was no fire. Of course there was fire. There was a bloodbath on the Western Front. That's a fire enough for anybody. So,
So anyway, yeah, that whole fire in a crowded theater argument, dog shit. Christopher Hitchens, smart guy, knew what he's talking about. So that's the whole point there. Anyway, here's Kanye West speaks at Pastor Joel Osteen's Houston megachurch. Here we go.
I know that God's been calling me for a long time, and the devil
Has he? God's been calling Kanye. Yo, Kanye. It's me, God. I think Kanye's only God is his own oversized ego. But proceed, Kanye. Tell us more.
has been distracting me for a long time. And when I was, in my lowest points, God was there with me and sending me visions and inspiring me.
Sending you visions, huh? Okay. That's called mental illness, my friend. You're having visions. It's not good. I mean, people, that's called a hallucination. Is what that's called. That's not God.
And I remember sitting in the hospital at UCLA after having a mental breakdown, and
Mental breakdown, visions from God. Sounds like, yeah, that's the circumstance of someone you want to be listening to, seriously.
There's documentations of me drawing a church and writing start a church in the middle of Calabasas. And even after that, I went and made the Life of Pablo album. I said, this is a gospel album. And I didn't know how to totally make a gospel album. And the Christians that were around were too, I would say, beaten into submission by society to not speak up and profess the gospel to,
Yeah, beaten by society, said Kanye in the mega church full of like 1 billion Christians. I mean, look at the size of this fucking crowd. I think they'll fucking show another wide pan of this poor oppressed group here. Oh, look at them. Oh, it's just, you can't even be Christian in this country anymore. Here's a guy speaking to a literal fucking arena of people, telling them that, man, us Christians are just beaten down. He says to the giant arena of cheering people. You know what? If your ideas are actually beaten down, you don't get to fucking say them to a giant fucking crowd filling a fucking arena of an arena of a church, and they all cheer. You know? That's not how unpopular fucking speech is received, okay? So shut up.
So as I sat there saying, I'm going to make a gospel album, there were Christians that were there that were not. Excuse me, brother. I go into these streams of consciousness when I'm talking, and when you're speaking in the middle of it, it distracts me. I really appreciate the support, but I would like for everybody to be completely silent so I can let God flow through me as I speak to you guys today.
Okay. Yeah, everyone shut up. Kanye is talking. Be quiet. Be quiet, thousands of other people there. Kanye is talking now. I mean, in fairness, I guess he is the speaker, but I've just never seen anyone in my life just be like, everyone else shut up, I'm talking. Like the balls of saying that to a crowd of like thousands of people. But I guess they're cheering, so I guess they like it.
So in the studio, and this studio, it's going to compare to...
Excuse me, brother. You can't be walking when I'm talking because I see you out the corner of my eye and it just distracts me from what I'm... Just let God flow through me. I'm just trying to let God flow through me, brother. So please, I want everyone in this crowd to just remain perfectly still as I speak so as not to distract me from speaking God's extemporaneous words. I think if God, the creator of the universe, was truly using you as his vessel to speak through, you'd be a bit more eloquent than you are.
The places that you're in life where people tell you to quiet your voice and not talk about Jesus.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy when people tell you to just quiet your voice and not speak. Oh, wait, like you just did to the entire fucking crowd a minute ago? Not even a minute ago? Like 2 seconds ago?
So loud, but everything else is so loud around us. When I'm in California or when I'm in Vegas, they got posters up advertising, sex trafficking. Because if there's an advertisement for a strip club, that is advertising sex trafficking, because at the end of the night...
No, that's not sex trafficking. What an insult to the actual victims of actual sex trafficking to say that a strip club is the equivalent of what they've been through. Like, what a fucking... You're just a... I mean, like... That's ridiculous, Kanye. It's fucking ridiculous, dude. I mean, I know you're insane, so I'm going to give you some leeway on this. I mean, really, the people who should be ashamed are the people in the audience that are validating this bullshit from you. But no, that's not sex trafficking, Kanye. That's women who are making a lot of money. If anybody's being exploited in those strip clubs, it's usually the dudes who are there paying, like, blowing fucking thousands of dollars to get cock teased in some instances, oh, a fucking, I'm a big fat ugly doofus, but I got some money in my pocket, so I'll pay an attractive girl to rub her ass on my fucking crotch for a minute, you know? That girl is more than happy to do that. She's more than happy to make that money. And that dude is, at the end of the day, when that dude leaves that strip club with an empty wallet, he's the one who's worse for the wear, not her, because she's got that money is now in her pocket or in her G-string, whatever the case may be.
When they close up, the manager says, "How much traffic do we have?"
Yeah, they're talking about the clientele. When they're talking about traffic, see, when you talk about sex trafficking, it's the girls being trafficked. In a strip club, when the fucking guy managing it says, "How much traffic do we have tonight?" I mean, how much foot traffic? How much? How many people came through here? How many fucking wallets did we empty out? So, it's very different fucking context there, Kanye.
So, if it's a man that's going through things with his family or going through things at work and he feels he has to go there, we all end up participating, whether it's the spirits that get advertised to us all the time. Alcohol is, they call it a spirit.
Wow, are we really going to do this, Kanye? Are we really going to you're really going to lean on that? They call alcohol a spirit. So, that's because it's got ghosts in it and shit. And them ghosts, them demons, is like poisoning your brain pattern thoughts,
So we get constant advertisement for spirits. We get constant advertisement for strip clubs and other things like that. But then we bring up the name of Jesus, we're told to be quiet, quiet that down.
No, you're not. Maybe you are by me, but I'm not. I don't have a very powerful voice in this country. Take a road trip across America sometime. All right? Yeah, maybe you see some ads for some strip clubs in Vegas and shit, but you know what you see a lot more ads for if you drive across this great country of ours? You see a lot more religious ads than you do strip club ads. And you see a lot more churches than you see dens of iniquity. Maybe there's a few places where there's some concentrations of here's some strippers and here's this and here's that, like places like Vegas, like you talk about. But from sea to shining sea, there's way more churches than there are strip clubs. Let's just fucking check it out. Let's just do a fucking quick little check here. How many churches in America? Let's see. Christianity. Oh, there we go. Here's a better fucking source for this. How many churches does America have? Let's see here. More than expected. Yeah. I don't know about that. According to a recent paper published by sociologist Simon Brower in the Journal of Scientific Study of Religion, the number of religious congregations in the United States has increased by almost 50,000 since 1998. Well, what's the total? In 2012, there were 384,000 congregations in the United States. So, about 400,000. 400,000 different congregations in America. And some of those congregations are like Joel Osteen's, where they consist of literally tens of thousands of people. So let's see how many strip clubs there are in America. Um, 2,500. 400,000 churches, 2,500 strip clubs. 400,000 churches, 2,500 strip clubs. 400,000 churches, 2,500 strip clubs. What are you talking about, Kanye? What the fuck are you talking about? You're not talking about reality, that's for sure.
So even for someone who's professing God and saying, this is going to be a gospel album, the devil's going to come and do everything he can to distract people from knowing how to fully be in service to the Lord.
Right. The devil. So when Kanye was doing this album, the devil showed up and was just like, Kanye, don't make this album. By the way, pretty easy for Kanye to talk shit on strip clubs when he's married to the biggest assed, biggest tittied bitch, like, in the entire country, right? You got it right there at your house. So what do you what do you need a strip club for? Fuck you, man. You know, not everybody gets that, Kanye, you fucking cocksucker. And, you know, it wasn't God that gave it to you. It was you. You son of a bitch, Kanye. You're such a douchebag. But I love you. I really do. I can't help but fucking love you in spite of myself.
And
I hate your music, by the way. I just love what a fucking nut job you are.
all of that arrogance and confidence and cockiness that y'all see me use.
To this day, I'm not getting the sense that that's gone away, Kanye. In just the 3 minutes and wait a minute, 3:16? I paused it right at 3:16. It must be a sign from God. No, just in this 3 minutes and 16 seconds I've watched so far, I'm pretty sure that cockiness and arrogance is still very much there, Kanye. I don't think that's gone anywhere.
Before God is now using for him.
Woo! Woo!
I feel that I'm standing up and drawing a line in the sand and saying, I'm here in service to God, and no weapon formed against me.
Okay. Well, that was gibberish. Rock on, Kanye. Rock on, bro. You keep doing you, my man. You keep on doing you. So beautiful. So beautiful. Yeah, that's good stuff. I mean, you know, Kanye, I mean, he's there, he's the speaker, you know, so, I mean, it makes sense to an extent to tell the audience to shut the fuck up. But it wasn't like, they weren't like heckling or something. It wasn't like, oh my God, everyone's just talking over Kanye. One dude somewhere in the fucking crowd said something. It was like, yeah, Kanye, or whatever the fuck. And he's like, whoa, shut the fuck up. I'm talking. Let God flow through me, bro. I like Kanye West's older stuff when it comes to his music. Yeah, well, you know. The music that made him rich was not God music. So this idea that God has blessed him or some shit, I mean, you know, that ain't how he got rich. You had to make a bunch of secular, well, not necessarily secular albums, but you had to make a bunch of not God-bothering albums to get popular enough to start peddling your God-bothering albums and have anyone give a shit. Because if we started off with gospel Kanye, I don't think he'd be Kanye at this point. You know what I mean? But whatever. Kanye, one of the things I love about Kanye is that he's totally nuts. And I think artists should be nuts. So I can't really complain too much about it. You know, I mean, what do you really expect? You really want an artist to be sane, a sane, normal, well-adjusted person. They're not going to make very interesting art. That's for sure. So yeah, we need our artists crazy. It's always better. Let's take a look at this video by Way of the Master. This video is called "This Brought an Atheist to Christianity." I have not watched it. I don't really watch most of the videos that I watch here on this show beforehand. I see there's a book on the table called Evidence for the Bible, so that's always fun.
This week on Way of the Master.
Way of the Master. Am I still watching? I'm watching it normal speed. Okay.
As Christopher Hitchens would call it, I was a militant atheist. You guys know I love to read, and so back then my library looked very different. I still have a few of those books today. And yeah, I mean, I loved learning. I still love to learn, but more than anything, I loved arguing with Christians from what I thought were good and reasonable arguments. Of course, I was dead wrong.
And I just want to clarify, this wasn't in college. We're talking about high school.
Yeah, so I got introduced to atheism by a white paper on Karl Marx. He was the guy who said religion is the opiate of the people, and that
the masses, actually. Whatever. I guess that could be differently translated or whatever.
I got my head spinning. It introduced me to a world of atheism. And it's funny, I was just remembering this. Speak of romance, I took a girl out on a date to UCLA to hear atheists talk about morality. That to me was a good night.
But did you get a blowjob at the end of the night? That's the real question. Did she suck your dick? Don't leave us hanging. Tell us. Tell us the dirty details. Tell me more, did she put up a fight? If she did, you're a rapist, so hopefully she didn't put up a fight.
That's terrible.
That's a weird lyric.
That is amazing to me. You know, I mentioned that it was high school, not college, because where do you find high schoolers today really giving themselves over to that kind of quote-unquote intellectual study?
What was the attraction?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
That's a good question. I've been thinking about this more lately. I think if you asked me back then, my incentive was reason and logic. But as I look back on what was happening in my heart, as I have a better understanding of who I was as a person back then, I think my incentive was to try to dumb down and rationalize what we would call sin. So I don't want to...
Yeah, man. That's always how it works out. You know, I was just trying to rationalize sin, you know. When I look back on it, you know, I just wanted permission to, you know, murder people, rape people, you know, just do what I want. Maybe she did put up a fight. This dude sounds like a grifter. No, this dude is a grifter. Because, I mean, he's already making talking points that he knows. If he actually had read those books that are sitting next to him, the Hitchens book and the Dawkins book and stuff, he would know that what he's saying right now is refuted in those books. And well refuted in those books. And he'd have, if he was actually like, I was this big atheist, I think he'd have some better fucking lines to give us. He'd have some original thoughts. He'd have some arguments that haven't been made a million times. But I want to hear the fucking story, man. I want to hear the story of how this guy went from atheism to Christianity.
I don't want to get too deep into it, but you guys know I have a interesting childhood. My mom was a drug addict. I had abusive parents, and there was something...
the old chestnuts, man. Them old chestnuts. Tough childhood. Mom was a druggie. Dad was Dad left to buy a pack of cigarettes and never came back, and, you know, I was poor as a kid and used to eat fucking raccoon meat from the gutter. I don't know.
Thing about atheism to me that said you don't have to be overly depressed over these things. It's not so much they did something wrong to you. They're simply just animals, and animals eat their young in the wild all the time. Wow. So
yeah, the message of atheism. There's nothing wrong with your parents abusing you. They're just animals. You're just an animal. I mean, we are just animals, but that's not been, whoa, what's going on with the dude on the fucking right there? Hey, man, you all right, buddy? You need, I think you need to take a sip of that coffee if there's coffee in that, because you're looking a little tired or something.
So atheism was almost a way for me to rationalize the wrong that had happened, the wrong that I did and the wrong that I saw in other people.
I don't remember. I mean, I've read the God Delusion. I read God's Not Great. I don't remember the chapter of just like, it's okay to do bad stuff because we just animals, bro. Hells yeah, do what you want, man. What? I don't remember that. I don't remember anything like that.
Almost like a coping mechanism, sort of.
Like a coping. The problem is that...
Yeah, dude, atheism is the coping mechanism. The idea that when you die, you're going to get to go to a magical paradise in the sky where everything's going to be awesome forever. That's not the coping mechanism. the idea that that's not true is the coping mechanism. I mean, it makes perfect sense to me.
That argument falls short because ultimately what it's saying is nothing is wrong. Like
Right.
it's just, it is what it is. You know, we are just bubbling goo and sometimes we pop on each other.
Bubbling goo. The old bubbling goo argument. You open up, that's what I remember. I think it's a direct Dawkins quote, man. You are just bubbling goo. And sometimes, what? What am I? Okay.
And of course, the goodness of the gospel is that no, things have gone terribly wrong. We are.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. That's always the great, this is fucking, everything's fucked up. These atheist books are just like, shit is how it is, bro. But then the gospel, you read that and it's like, shit's fucked up. And that's the, what? Okay. I'm really deeply not understanding where this is going at this point. I'm lost. I like the bubbling goo reference. Can we talk about more bubbling goo, please? Talk about the bubbling goo. I want to hear about how the bubbling goo popped on your face and stuff. Tell me about all that thick, creamy goo.
In sin. When somebody sins against you, it's okay to say that is wrong.
Right.
That is not how things are supposed to be.
Did atheism give you a sense of identity?
Oh yeah, it's funny because atheism is anti-established religion, but atheism acts sure a lot like religion. I mean, you've
all the old classics are coming out. You're just an atheist so you can sin. Atheism's a religion. It's all there. It's a coping mechanism. I've never actually heard someone say atheism's a coping mechanism before. So that's kind of an interesting one. Just because it's so clear that that's what religion is. But I guess atheism's a religion, so it makes sense it would also be a coping mechanism as well. Right.
You've got the prophets like Hitchens and Dawkins. You've got the priests like Bill Maher and Jacqueline Glenn.
Bill Maher and Jacqueline Glenn? What the fuck is going on here? What? Priests and prophet? Okay, so tell me one of Bill Maher and Jacqueline Glenn's prophecies then. Like, when's the last time Bill Maher got on his show and he's like, hold on, everybody, I have an atheist prophecy now. And what was it? What did you call the Dawkins and Hitchens and those people? The priests? So, I mean, like, do you extend that to every ideology? So if a politician advocates a certain position, is he a priest of that position? If I go around and fucking say, like, I like ice cream. Oh, well, what are you, an evangelist for ice cream? I think your love of ice cream is a religion. Actually, that sounds dope. Let's do that. Let's do the ice cream religion. That sounds good. I'm going to use that. That's a better coping mechanism than atheism for sure. Atheism is just like there's no God, and that's it. There's really not much beyond that. Ice cream, that's fucking... that's a fucking tried and true method of drowning your woes, Park your ass in front of the TV, fucking get yourself into basically a persistent vegetative state and shovel rocky road in your mouth. There you go.
And you've got followers, you've got nonprofits that are making money on it. I mean, it sure looks a lot like a religion.
Nonprofits that are making money on it.
How did you come out? What happened?
I don't think he's out yet. He claimed he was dating women earlier, so.
Honestly, it was God's grace on my life. I had known the gospel.
This is the part I've been waiting for. Tell us when God showed up.
In regards to being able to articulate it, I had heard it before. I had argued against it, and someone had invited me to a baptism, which I did not want to go to. And I was promised that there was not going to be a gospel presentation, and there was.
Because, I mean, it's not like there's any sort of like thing in Christianity about, don't bear false witness or anything, Lying is okay. I mean, as long as you get to convert a heathen in the process, of course.
And which
we lied to you.
there should be.
Lying for the sake of the gospel.
Yeah. No, I don't think this person knew, to their credit.
Okay.
But it was, when he started talking, it was my time. The Lord, the Lord stirred something up in me in that moment. It was like
That's so
I had
good.
all these arguments.
So let me get this straight. The fucking great conversion story of this atheist Christianity is like, yeah, I knew the gospel and I heard it a million times, and then one day I just heard it and it was just my time, and God was like, all right, now you're going to believe it. So I heard the same bullshit a million times and I always thought it was stupid, but then all of a sudden I just thought, yeah, I think it's actually true. I like it. I like it now. Randomly, out of fucking the wild blue yonder, I just like it now. Okay. Fair enough, Hell of a story. When this guy was sitting here cooking up this story about his conversion from atheism to Christianity, like, couldn't you come up with something a little more dramatic than that? Like, I was just sitting there and I heard the gospel for the millionth time, but this time, for no particular fucking reason, it was like, yeah, all right, cool. I'll do it this time. This time I'm going with it. I'm tired of arguing with it. This time I just accept it as true. Like, come on, man. Fucking have some more dramatic shit. Like, I heard a noise outside in my fucking, vegetable garden because I was growing this garden, and I went out there, and it was a stormy night, and I was struck by lightning. And when I was struck by lightning, I saw a flash, and I went to heaven, and I went to hell, and I met Jesus, and I met the angels. And, I saw all my dead relatives there, and then I met the devil, and he laughed at me, and I knew that heaven and hell were real, and I felt the pain of hell, and I felt the joy of heaven. And they told me, go back and tell the world what you've seen and what you've experienced, and save the souls of the wayward sinners. I mean, equally dumb bullshit story, but at least there's some pizzazz, At least there's some drama there. At least there's some special effects. There's some potential for a fucking movie and shit. You were already sleeping. I saw you on the couch sleeping. So, that's fine. Go to sleep. Sorry. Talk to my wife there.
Against him, but in that moment the Holy Spirit said, you and right now, and it was a gospel presentation I had heard before, but the difference is that I heard it with my soul rather than just hearing it.
And what were your
the soul heard it. Because the rest of my life, I'd heard it with my ears plenty of times. But on that particular day, I decided, you know what? I'm going to open up my soul ears. Listen with my soul for a second. See what my soul makes of all this. And it was like, whoa, wait a minute. This is all true. My soul, I should have listened with my soul a while ago. My soul, obviously, got a firmer grasp on these things than, my fucking stupid brain. Why would I want to use that thing? What is going on with fucking Ray Comfort's hair, dude? It looks like it looks like he just wakes up in the morning and just rubs a balloon on his head. Jesus.
your emotions at that time? Was it scary? Was it what comforting? What?
There was, I'd love to say that it was like, the Apostle Paul, that I went right away and started studying and became, a church planter or something. But
boring. Boring, boring, boring. Come up with a better bullshit story. If you're gonna fucking make up this bullshit about I saw the light and stuff. Like, make it fucking more interesting than that. Get a car crash in there, I crashed my car and I was trapped under the burning wreckage, but then Jesus showed up and freed me from the burning wreckage of the car. And that's when I realized God was real, Have something dramatic. Alcohol spirit is to the Holy Spirit what Dover soul is to the soul. Okay. Cool. Rock on. I don't know. I don't know what a Dover is. Maybe I should. Maybe I'm just ignorant. I'm just an ignorant motherfucker, man. That guy was obviously gay. You don't know that. You don't know that. Did you see him suck a dick? I don't think you did. So don't judge him. Salvia, yeah. He heard it a million times with his ears, but this time he heard it with his wallet. It's like, wait a minute. Wait a goddamn motherfucking minute, bro. I can make some money with this shit. Not with that little story. He needs a better story. If you're going to make some shit up, you need to fucking come up with something dramatic that people, like, you got to imagine it as a fucking, you know, you got to try to see if you can get with them Christian movies made about it, you know? Based on a true story. From facts to faith. The Random Douchebag Show. Blum blum ba-dum, blum bum ba-dum, blum bum ba-dum, blum ba-dum, blum ba-dum. An effeminate tenor. Okay. Okie dokie artichoke. I see that white hair on your beard, old man TJ. Yeah. Fucking, I alone am aging. You, sir, will never age in any way, shape, or form. You will stay the same forever. But me, I'm cursed to keep getting older and older. The longer I live, the older I get. It's wild. Unprecedented. See that white hair on your beard. Shut up, TJ. Man, you guys, man. Oh, do. All right, well, let's take a look now at Michael Bloomberg. He's running for president because what we need, that's what the Democratic race needed, right? More people. Because the field is just too thin. Not nearly enough people. We need somebody else. We need more people in this race for sure.
Mike Bloomberg started as a middle-class kid who had to work his way through college, then built a business from a single room to a global entity, creating tens of thousands of good-paying jobs along the way. He could have stopped there. But when New York suffered the terrible tragedy of 9/11...
Remember 9/11, everybody? Remember the terrible tragedy of 9/11? Vote for Mike Bloomberg, everybody.
He took charge, becoming a 3-term mayor who brought a city back from the ashes and brought back jobs and hope with it, creating tens of thousands of affordable housing units so families could have a decent place to live, raising teachers' salaries and kids' graduation rates, and creating a more open and livable city for the millions who call it home. He could have stopped there. But when he witnessed the terrible toll of gun violence, he put his money where his heart is, helping to create a movement to take on the NRA and the politicians they own, to protect families across this country and help turn the tide. And he's funded college educations for thousands of deserving low-income and middle-class kids, and supported life-saving medical research, and stood up to the coal lobby and the outright denial of this.
Pretty easy to stand up to the coal lobby when you're fucking the mayor of New York. Not much coal going on there.
Administration to protect the only home we have from the growing menace of climate change. But now he sees a different kind of menace coming from Washington. So there's no stopping here, because there's an America waiting to be rebuilt.
Oh my God, man. America is ready. America's ready for Bloomberg, dude. Bloomberg is a big, juicy dick, and America is a big, wet pussy just waiting for that Oh, please, Bloomberg, fill us with hope. Oh, hope and change, yes. Oh, please. Oh, fight the NRA, Bloomberg. Oh, fight climate change, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Everyone without health insurance is guaranteed to get it, and everyone who likes
Yeah.
theirs can go ahead and keep it. Where the wealthy
Oh,
will
sweet.
pay more in taxes, and the struggling middle class will get their fair share.
Finally.
And jobs that just allow you to get by will become jobs that let you get ahead. Mike Bloomberg for president.
Yeah, give me
Jobs creator, leader.
Jobs creator? I don't know. I feel like jobs doesn't really need to be pluralized there, but I guess it's not grammatically incorrect to say jobs.
Problem solver. It's going to take all three to build back a country.
Yeah, rebuild it. Build back America, god damn it. Wait a minute. America might not be in the best of fucking shape ever, but are we really at the point of yeah, we need to rebuild this shit because it's basically just crumbled, it's collapsed. So let's check out some of the fucking things. This is something you didn't hear in the fucking ad. The soda ban. A proposed limit on soft drink size in New York intended to prohibit the sale of many sweetened drinks more than 16 fluid ounces in volume to have taken effect on March 12, 2013. On June 26, 2014, the New York Court of Appeals, the state's highest court, ruled the New York City Board of Health in adopting the regulation exceeded the scale of its regulatory authority. The repealed regulation was codified in Section 81.53 of the New York Health Code, Title 24 of the Rules of the City of New York. So the regulation was strongly supported by Mayor Michael Bloomberg and continues to be supported by his successor, Mayor Bill de Blasio. Approximately 32,000 written and oral comments were received in support of the proposal, and approximately 6,000 were received in opposition. Yeah, I'm sure that I don't know where that was tabulated, but I know that I seem to remember there being a lot more people that thought that was fucking stupid than were like, yeah, that's gonna be awesome, bro. Limit the size of my soda, because why should I have the choice, right? I think that should be the government's choice. You tell me what size soda is okay for me to drink, Mr. Government, because I certainly can't be trusted with that. I mean, well, I personally can't, actually, but that's my choice. If I want to drink a fucking bucket of Dr. Pepper, that's my goddamn business. Fuck you, Bloomberg, you little bitch. All right, but that's not the main thing that he's fucking known for that's fucked up. You see all those black people in his commercial? Well, there's a reason for that. He's really trying to fucking make amends because he was the guy behind the stop and frisk policy, which he's defended adamantly up until very recently. Up until he decided to run for president, he defended stop and frisk. So for those of you who don't know about stop and frisk, it's basically gives the police wide latitude to just, do unlawful search and seizure on anybody at any time. Even though that's against the Constitution, I guess they somehow figured out a way around the Constitution. And, but I'm sure they didn't abuse that power at all. Oh, wait, they fucking did. So here's some stats about the search and seizure report. It hit a fucking high in 2011 here, around 2011, 2012. So in 2002, 97,000 stops were reported. 82% of the people who were stopped and frisked were innocent, had nothing on them. Let's go to a few years later when it got to fucking crazy proportions. Back in 2005, 352,348 of the 398,191 were innocent. So 89% of the people who were stopped and frisked were innocent. 54% were black. 32% were Latinx. I don't know. I hate this Latinx bullshit. But whatever. Only 11% were white. And most were young. Let's go a few years later. 2009, it was up to 581,000. Another 88% innocent, 55% black, 32% fucking Latinx. Let's go to fucking 2012. Actually, it looks like the highest year was 2011. 685,724 people stopped. 88% black. 88% innocent. 53% black. 34% Latinx. Only 9% white. So there's a good reason why this guy is loading his ads up with black people and why he's now, after all this time, apologizing. And it is convenient that Bloomberg suddenly apologizes but has done nothing to undo the immense damage he caused on countless lives. His apology is not accepted, nor should it be, because it's obviously not a sincere apology. It's an apology of like, well, I don't want this to be used against me. I know it is going to be used against me, so I might as well head it off at the pass and try to make amends with the black people because I'm going to need the black vote if I have any expectation of being president. By the way, if Michael Bloomberg thinks he's going to be president, he's the most delusional fuckwit in all of American history, aside from the other delusional fuckwits in this race, like Kamala Harris and, the like. Fucking nut job, man. But yeah, he sucks. And, he's got some serious fascist tendencies between trying to regulate your drink size, which I admit is a relatively minor issue. But this is not a relatively minor issue. This idea that, if the police suspect you of something, they can just be like, hey, I'm going to search you. I think you're guilty of something. You look suspicious to me. I'm going to just make sure you ain't carrying no contraband on you. To the point where they're doing over 500,000 people. They're just stopping them in the street, mostly black and fucking Latino. And just, hey, man, we're going to search you because we just think you're a fucking criminal. And, 90% of the time, totally wrong about that. Didn't find shit. So if 90% of the time they didn't find shit on these people, how judicious were they actually being with it? It seems to me like they were just casting a dragnet and saying, we're just going to fucking randomly search people on the street. And, hopefully, 10% of the time we'll find something. It's like, man, fuck that. That's not constitutional. That's fascist bullshit. So fuck Michael Bloomberg. Fuck his presidential run. Fuck his bullshit trying to still get votes off 9/11 in 2019, for fuck's sake. Ugh. I have a few more stories, but I don't think I could do them proper justice. I might return tomorrow and do like a little mini Abandoned Hope to finish up these stories I got. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna maybe talk to you guys for a minute and then sign off so that I can wake up early enough to finish the cooking I have to do for Thanksgiving. And by the way, if you are in the United States and you are going to celebrate the Thanksgiving holiday, I'll just go ahead and say that, happy Thanksgiving. Minor or not, no one should tell us how much of any liquid we can drink. If I want to drink a gallon of antifreeze, no matter how bad it is for me, that's my choice. Well, you'll die in that case, but yeah. I mean, it's certainly your choice. I know Spanish and gendered words are indeed stupid. Yep. I don't know. I don't know much about it. I'm an English speaker, and that's about all I can speak. And Igpe Atenlay a little bit. I already talked about the Onision shit at the beginning of the episode. You can go back and look at that. Tappy Hanksgiving. Cool. Am I afraid of death? I don't know. I guess maybe. It used to be something like when I was in my late teens and I guess throughout my 20s, there was often times where I'd like lay in bed at night and be like, one day I will die. and just kind of stare at the ceiling and be like, whoa, I'm going to die. But at this point, I don't really have that anymore, so I guess I'm not as afraid of death. But I can't claim, like, if someone came in here and put a gun to my head, I'm going to be like, okay, I'm pretty scared now. I don't really want to die at this particular moment, so I think I'm reasonably afraid of death, but I don't think I'm exceptionally afraid of death at this point. TJ, my plan was to go to bed at 4 a.m., but I saw your stream and was going to start at 5:30. Now it's 9:12. I'm sorry. Time zones. What are you going to do? Any new movies you're actually excited about? Hold on. Let me just check what new movies are coming out. I'm definitely interested in that Color Out of Space movie with Nicolas Cage, where Richard Stanley is returning to directing after a 19 or 20 year absence or some crazy amount of time. I think longer than that, actually. It's been so fucking long. Upcoming films. Let's see what's happening here. Fuck. I see a lot of dog shit here. This all looks horrible. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say there's not anything I'm looking forward to at this time. It looks like a lot of dog shit's coming out to me. Hold on, let me go to the IMDb page here. Maybe I'll see something. The Jumanji movie looks terrible. Ooh, gross. The new Star Wars movie looks awful. And the last one definitely was awful. Fuck, man. Ugh. It's a dismal fucking stretch of movies coming our way. Bad Boys for Life, Doolittle. Ugh. Oh man. Ugh. Things are not looking promising, man. I mean, we are heading into January, so I guess that's the thing. Fuck, man. There's usually some kind of good movie coming out in December, but it looks like they just decided, no, not this December. This December, it's just going to be wall-to-wall dog shit. So, cool. Unless you want to see... Oh, I guess I'm looking forward to this Uncut Gems movie. Adam Sandler decided to make his once-a-decade good movie. We'll see about that. That could be fun. Yeah. Fuck, other than that, it looks all horrible. Did you see the horrible teaser clip from the new Star Wars, Yeah, They Fly Now? What? I don't know anything about that. Yeah, They Fly Now? What's Yeah, They Fly Now? Can I look that up on YouTube? Yeah, They Fly Now? Star Wars clip. They fly now. What flies now? Hold on. All right, I'm going to take a look. It's only 40 seconds. Shouldn't be too painful, right? Let's take a gander.
We've spotted the fugitives. They fly now! They fly now!
All right, then. Well, I think I'm going to just not say anything about that, because what is there to say? Wow. I mean, when 3PO said it, I was like, that's not so bad. And then when What's-His-Face said it, and the other What's-His-Face said it, I was like, okay, that's pretty bad, I guess. The repetition, it was like everyone decided, like, okay, so everyone try to say it about twice as bad as the person before said it. Ugh. Wow, okay. Cool stuff. Yep. Yippee dee Anyway, yep. That's good stuff. I like it, man. I think we need more of that. More of that, please. Another helping. Yeah, it was such a good line that everybody needs to say it. Everybody needs to say it. I hope I think Daisy Ridley should have said it too. I think the little robot, the little volleyball looking motherfucking droid should have said it. And I think the speeder they were driving should have grown a face and said it. And I think that characters that don't even make sense in that scene should have just appeared on the screen momentarily to say it, Like that little Asian chick from the last movie, she should have just popped up out of nowhere and been like, "They fly now." They should have digitally recreated Grand Moff Tarkin again to come up there and be like, "They fly now." Palpatine sitting on his throne, "They fly now." Just every Star Wars character. The whole movie should just be every Star Wars character reiterating the fact that stormtroopers fly now. Even though we already knew about the existence of jetpack technology in the Star Wars universe from Boba Fett and, other examples. But, whatever. It's all good. Everything, they fly now. Right? Yeah, Jar Jar can come back. They's a flying now. Everybody, Yoda fucking force ghost his way up there. Fly now they do. Let's hear everybody say it. Why not? Everybody. You get that fucking purple-haired bitch from the last movie that died. Turns out she survived. She can come on and like, "They fly now." Everybody flies. Everybody flies now. It's going to be great. Fuck it, Disney owns it. Why not get fucking other characters in on the property? Get Goofy on there. They fly now, Mickey. Why not? Get some of the Marvel characters in there. Get Tom Holland's fucking Spider-Man to do a little witty clip about them flying now. Sounds good. Yeah, Jabba can show up. Kusha the Bukta. Little fucking subtitle. They fly now. Why not? Everybody. Why not get everybody in on the fun? Star Wars Episode 9. They fly now. Awesome. Love it. Love it. Fuck me, man. What did I see? What was that? Ew. Fucking ew, man. Gross. I don't like it. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I did not feel that. Why does it look worse than the shit I see on The Mandalorian? Like, isn't this supposed to be like a big screen kind of thing? Like, how are they trying less hard for their cinematic fucking releases than their goddamn TV show? Ugh. What's going on? Fuck me, man. That is Star Wars, man. Just stop. Ugh. Go look at some fucking Rey Rule 34 so I can at least enjoy her on some level. Let's see them titties. All right, that's a little better. Thank God for that. Thank God for Rule 34 so that Rey can have some redemptive value. Can ogle them titties. Yeah. Can't show you guys, but you got the internet. You can do what you want. Oh. Wow. Hey TJ, what does Paul think of it? I don't answer what does Paul think about this questions, man. Ask Paul. Paul can fucking answer what Paul thinks about something. I can guarantee you he's not impressed. I can give you that much info. I could tell you that. he don't like it. I don't think I don't, maybe I shouldn't speak for Paul, but in this instance, I feel pretty safe in saying that I don't think Paul is down with that shit. I could be wrong. If Paul, if I'm misrepresenting your position on this, let me know. But I feel pretty confident in saying that Paul would not enjoy what I just saw. Yeah, Pennywise can show up. And when you're down here, you fly too! They fly now, Georgie. Yes, they do. Why is life so horrible? Why is it so tragically delicious? I don't even know what I could do. I really wish whoever suggested I look at that is a bad person. I just want to say that. I am not happy that I saw what I saw. But I guess I'm going to end up seeing that movie anyway, so. And man, that's something they fucking put out there. Like think about that for a second. Like, they made this movie, and then they looked at their movie, and they're like, what's a fucking moment from this movie that we could put out there to really, like, sell people on the fucking film and, try to get their asses in the theater seats. And they're like, how about that great they fly now bit we did? That was a good one. I think it was pretty solid. Let's put that out there, Fuck me, man. Gross. I don't like it, man. I don't like it. It is garbage. Do dee dee do. Diddly doo, diddly doo, diddly doo. Ah. Anyway, y'all, I'm feeling a little bit on the tired side. Think I'm gonna chill and start working my way into the state of slumber. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry it was a shorter one, but like I said, I might come back tomorrow, and I got a few other stories here that I didn't really expect to spend so long on that Sacha Baron Cohen thing, because I didn't really expect it to be that stupid, but it was. So I got a few extra stories here that I could cover. But so I might come back to do that tomorrow or maybe Friday or something like that. Anyway, you guys have a good one, and thank you for watching, and I will see you motherfuckers whenever I see you. Peace. I don't really use this screen too much anymore. It's not where I even wanted to go. I might just delete this scene because it's kind of defunct at this point. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I meant to go to this.